welcome to the first race of Season 2 of the Yahoo Cup Series, race fans. Today, we have an exhibition race taking the drivers that were top 16 in points last season, excluding Kurt Busch, and seeing which one will come out on top. We have a 12-lap event for these 15 cars to complete around the LA Coliseum. As we see the rest of the best 15 drivers from last season of the Yahoo Cup Series, let's see which ones we need to watch today for the clash at the Coliseum. Martin Truex Jr. was fastest in both practices and will be starting in the front half of the field today. Kyle Busch last season won by only 1 point to Kyle Larson and is now with a new team this season. And Kyle Larson is the Season 2 champion, but he will have to start last. Let's get to command to start engines.
From the home of the competitors, the Coliseum, drivers, start your engines!
As the field starts rolling around here, let's get the starting lineup. Erik Jones is the pole sitter with Chris Buescher on his outside for row 1. Row 2 has Kevin Harvick and Ryan Blaney, a couple of Fords. And row 3 has Martin Truex, the favorite today, and Brad Keselowski on his outside. Row 4 is Alex Bowman and Denny Hamlin, usually pretty fast at short tracks. And row 5 has Joey Logano and Chase Elliott. Row 6 will be Christopher Bell and Ross Chastain. And in row 7, we'll have Kyle Busch, another favorite for today, and William Byron on his outside. Row 8, when rounding out the field, is Kyle Larson starting in last. Here at the Clash at the Coliseum, we have a 12-lap event, and we have the top 15 drivers in points from last season, minus Kurt Busch. 15th is first in point standings, and first place will be starting last from last season. And don't forget to leave a comment on this video to possibly be driving the 29 car at Daytona. And here's your field coming to the green. Green flag at the Clash at the Coliseum. Erik Jones and Chris Buescher will lead him in the turn 1 with Harvick and Blaney behind them. Chris Buescher is going to get bumped out of the way early by Ryan Blaney, and Erik Jones will clear for the lead with Kevin Harvick on his back bumper. 3 wide going into turn 3, Martin Truex with Kevin Harvick looking to the inside for the lead. Erik Jones will lead lap 1 though. Martin Truex Jr. already up to 3rd. Kevin Harvick is going to take the lead from Jones coming out of turn 2. Alex Bowman already moving up into the top 5. Harvick clear going down the back. Martin Truex going to take 2nd place away from Erik Jones with Alex Bowman following in suit. As chaos ensuing in the back, Denny Hamlin bumping people out of the way. As Harvick leads lap 2, Martin Truex now already up to 2nd. Alex Bowman making a move for 3rd. As, it looks like Chris Buescher is going to get into Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney is going to spin, and the first caution is out here. The Clash at the Coliseum. Ryan Blaney just seemed to have gotten cleaned out by Chris Buescher there, as Buescher dropping through the field really early as he got bumped out of the way by Ryan Blaney. Take it or leave it. It seems like might have been some revenge there, or Buescher could have also just missed the turn, but good record avoidance on everyone else's part, and Buescher for stopping and not hitting Ryan Blaney after that, after already spinning him out. But Ryan Blaney will have to come to the rear. Looks like his damage is not terminal and will not take him out of the race. As Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex both opt to take the inside. Alex Bowman on the outside. Here's your field coming to the green. Brad Keselowski moved up to the top 5 now, but green flag is back in the air. Kevin Harvick and Alex Bowman leading them into 1. Joey Logano going to make a 3-wide move to make it into the top 5. It's going to work as well, moving Erik Jones and Kyle Busch out of the way. As Bowman and Harvick still even down the back. Bowman holding his own on the outside. Harvick goes wide. A little bit of contact. Martin Truex going to make a move 3 wide. As it gets a little squirrely, Harvick backs out of it. Bowman now has the lead going into turn 1 on the outside, though. As Harvick goes wide. Looks like he got pushed out of the way by Joey Logano. Martin Truex already up to the lead now, though. As, Denny Hamlin seems to get put into the wall by William Byron. Some conflict there. Truex sends it in, gets crossed over by Alex Bowman. Bowman in the lead now. He's going to lead lap 5 as Joey Logano up to 3rd. Chase Elliott top 5 as Denny Hamlin's going to overshoot the turn. Hard into the outside wall. Looks like when he got put into the wall by William Byron, it cut a tire down. As we have a replay here. We don't have full footage of it, but it looks like William Byron may have pushed Hamlin into the wall by the looks of it. And then going into the turn, Hamlin just locks it up because probably a flat tire or tire rub and hard to the outside wall. That will likely take him out of the race here, as Denny Hamlin will be the first DNF of the season. He's in the infield garage, as Alex Bowman chooses the inside, but Truex will choose the outside to stay on the front row there, as Joey Logano, Chase Elliott restart behind them as green flags back at the end. Once again, Bowman and Truex lead him into turn 1 this time. Bowman leads. Truex locks him up. He goes way wide as they're 3 wide. As, Kyle Busch is going to turn Chase Elliott in front of the entire field. Amazing how everybody misses him, though, as Chase Elliott is parked in the middle of the track. as there was just chaos on that restart. Truex went wide and they would put 3 wide, and Kyle Busch just got into the back of Elliott, turning him around. Crazy restart, but that really sucks because Elliott seemed to have had a really fast race car coming through the field. As now Bowman and Logano will both choose the inside. Harvick back up to the front row as he chooses the outside. Truex falls all the way back to fourth. His green flag's back in the air once again. Let's see if we can get some green flag laps in. As Kyle Busch is going to take it 3 wide underneath Brad Keselowski and Kyle Larson. It's going to make it work without causing any contact. Bowman clears for the lead. Logano and Harvick side by side. Truex pushing Logano into the turn as Logano's going to probably clear for second here. Kyle Busch has now entered the top 5. Brad gets pushed out of the way by Kyle Larson, but Bowman is clear for the lead as Joey Logano now is going to follow him around into turn 1. Martin Truex is going to pass Harvick for third. Kyle Busch making a move for fourth now on Harvick. As Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson side by side. As here we have the field rushing down the backstretch. Alex Bowman still in the lead, but gets a little push from Joey Logano. Joey Logano's going to get to the inside of Alex Bowman here, going for the race lead. Martin Truex Jr. third. Kyle Busch fourth. Christopher Bell into the top 5. As looks like Chris Buescher has some damage and is going to send it into the infield. As Joey Logano is taking the lead away from Alex Bowman. Truex now looking to get back to second. Kyle Busch still in fourth. Bell and Larson is. Kyle Busch moves Truex out of the way there. Kyle Busch is going to bump Truex into Bowman, going to get up to second from that. Christopher Bell up to fourth. Joey Logano still in the lead as Kyle Busch will clear for second there. But Truex can't do anything to maybe pay him back because Bell's on his inside, his teammate. As here we have him fly down the backstretch. Joey Logano still in the lead. Kyle Busch closing in though. Christopher Bell making a move for third as Alex Bowman in fifth going to try and cross over. His white flag is in the air. It is the last lap of the clash at the Coliseum as Kyle Busch is going to bump into Logano a little bit, but he goes a little wide. Christopher Bell up to third. Can he maybe take advantage of a mistake from these two? As going down the backstretch one last time, entering turn 3, as it looks like Kyle Busch drives it in deep, rubs into Logano. He's going to take the lead clear, but Joey Logano's going to get to his back bump it a little bit, but coming to the checkered flag, Kyle Busch will win at the clash at the Coliseum and will claim the first win of Season 2, picking up right where he left off last season. Kyle Busch is going to win at the clash after losing the championship by only 1 point last season. He's going to fire it off with a win here in Season 2. But this win does not count towards anything. It is only an exhibition race as we see the rest of the finishing results. Joey Logano ends up second. Christopher Bell out of nowhere ends up in third. Bowman fourth. Truex falls to fifth. The pole sitter Eric Jones ended up sixth, and there's the rest of the field. See you in a couple weeks for the Daytona 500. Welcome back, Yahoo Cup Series race fans, to the Season 2 opening of the series. We have over a full field for the first time ever in the Yahoo Cup Series, a short history with 37 cars here today. These cars have come back to the beaches of Daytona to once again run the historic Daytona 500 at over 200 miles per hour. We have a 10-lap event here today for this field to run, and with that, let's get to our ones to watch here at the Daytona 500. Tons of new drivers here at Daytona with Michael McDowell, Ryan Preece, Carson Hocevar, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon, BJ McLeod, Ty Gibbs, Connor Daly, JJ Yearley, and Jimmy Johnson here to make their first starts. Kyle Busch won the Clash a few weeks ago, has to start at the rear due to a crash in one of the duels. And Rowdy X was able to claim the 29 car at the Clash. Don't forget to comment to drive it at Gateway next week. With that, let's get the command start engines.
Driver, start your engines!
As the cars begin to roll off a pit road, let's head on and look at our starting lineup. We're at Hendrick duo of Alex Bowman and Kyle Larson in row 1, and row 2 is Joey Logano and Eric Almirola. Row 3 is Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, and then in row 4 is Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott. Row 5 is Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski, RFK teammates, and row 6 is Michael McDowell, Coil LaJoie. Row 7 is Kevin Harvick and Todd Gilliland, and row 8 is Bubba Wallace and Martin Truex Jr. Row 9 is Rowdy X and Denny Hamlin, and row 10 is Harrison Burton and Ryan Preece. Row 11 will be William Byron and Carson Hocevar, and row 12 is Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez. Row 13 is Eric Jones and Tyler Reddick, and behind them in 14 is Austin Dillon and AJ Allmendinger. Row 15 is Chase Briscoe and Ricky Stenhouse. Row 16 is BJ McLeod and Ty Gibbs. Row 17 is Connor Daly and Kyle Busch, and then row 18 is Ty Dillon and JJ Yearley, and rounding out the field in row 19 is Jimmy Johnson. Here at the Daytona International Speedway, we have a 10-lap event with 37 cars being the most ever in the Yahoo Cup Series. We have a Hendrick front row of Alex Bowman on the pole, Kyle Larson on his inside, and will we have a big one like we usually do here at the Super Speedways in the Yahoo Cup Series. Here's your field ready to take the green flag here at the Season 2 opener of the Yahoo Cup Series. Green flags in the air. Alex Bowman and Kyle Larson would lead him into Turn 1, but Bowman ducks to the inside. Almirola passes him on the outside with Austin Cindric pushing him behind. Chase Elliott trying to get that third lane forming on the outside with help from Brad Keselowski as the front row of Alex Bowman and Kyle Larson begins to fall back. As here we are flying down the back straightaway. Looks like Penske teammates of Austin Cindric, Joey Logano, and Ryan Blaney will make a move for the lead, but Keselowski will push Almirola back to the outside here. But Cindric jump backs ahead as Almirola gets left in the middle by Brad and Buescher as they begin to move on that outside. They fly by on the outside. Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, as contact in the back with Trackhouse teammates. But Brad Keselowski would lead lap 1 here as Chris Buescher, his teammate, pushes him. They jump to the inside to work with the Penske teammates, Cindric, Logano, and Blaney, but it doesn't work out. They go back to the outside with Elliott and LaJoie. As we now have a bit of a single file on the outside of Brad, Buescher, Elliott, LaJoie, and Truex going down the backstretch. As here we are, the leaders of Bowman and Larson have fallen way back as flyby down the backstretch. As, it looks like Toyotas of Truex, Hamlin, and Bubba will make a move to the inside to try and go for the lead. Brad still leading the outside lane. Nobody made a move because his teammate Buescher behind him. But Truex, and Hamlin, and Bubba all on the inside make a big move to go for the lead. Truex will lead lap 2, but Buescher gives his teammate Brad and Carlino a huge push back to the lead. Is it going to work out? They jump to the inside. Truex goes high. Truex gets loosened around. He goes in front of Cindric. Chase Elliott turns Logano. Logano hard into the outside wall. And they'll end up collecting LaJoie as they go back down the track. Massive impacts there as Truex seems to have made a bold move to the outside and got loose. It seems when Cindric gave him a push. As with Logano, I don't really know what happened yet, as I think it was just part of avoiding the wreck here, as we see Elliott tries to move down, and Logano just gets squeezed, and Elliott turns Logano straight into the outside wall. Big impact, lifted the back of the car in the air, and then just coming back down the track, LaJoie gets collected, just nowhere to go to avoid that. Let's watch Logano's hit one more time, as hard into the outside wall there. Lifted the back wheels off the ground as Logano, Truex, and Cindric will be out of the race. LaJoie will continue as Chase Elliott. A bunch of people come to pit road. Blaney will lead the race off. Hocevar, Busch, Dillon, Chastain, Byron all come off of pit road there. As if we look at how people came off pit road, Blaney stayed first coming in and first out. Hocevar, Busch, and Dillon all move. A lot of guys move up. Chastain's the only one to lose positions because he got damaged in a green flag incident. As picking lanes here, Toyota's off to go to the outside. RFK teammates to the inside. Buescher leads him back to the green flag. Looks like Brad gives him a slightly better push than Bubba does to Hamlin, as they will have the edge going into turn 1. Bubba loses connection of Hamlin. Seems his front row teammates seem to be working together. They're going to jump to the middle lane, disconnect Brad and Buescher, as Michael McDowell and Todd Gilliland will fly to the lead there. As Rowdy X comes out of nowhere, he's moved up to second. McDowell abandons Gilliland to block the outside as Toyota stays strong on the outside as they work with McDowell and Rowdy X. As RFK teammates Buescher and Brad seem to fall back as RCR of Busch, Dillon, and Byron, a Hendrick car, decide to go to the middle lane. As Rowdy X makes a move, McDowell almost spins out. He saves it though. Seems to have led the lap though. Hamlin and Bubba working together with Bell has joined them on the outside. Just powering on the outside as, Busch, Dillon, and Byron ditch Rowdy X to go to the inside. Kyle Busch is now in the lead, as it's RCR and Hendrick versus Gibbs in 23-11, as Bubba's going to give Hamlin a small nudge down the back. He's going to jump in front of Busch, abandoning Bubba. Bubba tries to block, as 4 wide. The whole Petty GMS pursuit on the outside, but Busch and Dillon here. We're coming to the end of the stage, I just realized, as Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon lead him to the line. Looks like Kyle Busch is going to win the stage. Austin Dillon, Jimmy Johnson. Carson Hocevar almost wrecks. Good save by him. He gets 4th. Eric Jones in 5th to round out the stage. The Toyotas have been shuffled down to the inside, or Hamlin has at least. Bell and Bubba have seemed to have fallen back as Byron and Larson get linked up. Larson's made his way back up through the field. Hamlin's stuck on the inside, getting a huge push from McDowell, though, down the back. Hamlin's going to take the lead back away. RFK teammates also working with them there on the inside. They start single file on the inside as William Byron and Kyle Larson working together. Busch and Austin Dillon have fallen back a bit, but here comes Hendrick teammates. McDowell jumps to the outside. He's going to be able to lead that lap, take it away from Denny Hamlin. As Byron and Larson still pushing McDowell, RFK teammates pushing Hamlin on the inside. As here comes Busch and Austin Dillon working together on the outside. As Busch almost gets on the wall. They lift. As Carson Hocevar around. Big impact. Austin Dillon over Denny Hamlin. Keselowski hard into the pit exit. That is immediately going to bring out the red flag. Cars stopped on looks right before the finish line, as there was some big hits there. The big one does strike here at Daytona, as taking out a lot of front-running contenders and some people that just seem to have not had a very good day. As we see at normal speed, as Austin Dillon vaults over Denny Hamlin's front bumper. He just got pinned into the walls. Looks like Christopher Bell just gave a bad push to Hocevar, turning him right down into Hamlin, which vaults Austin Dillon. It looks like if we see Keselowski, he just had nowhere to go and hard into the inside wall. Ty Dillon in it, so many cars in it, as it takes out Bell, Bubba. As we see it one more time, a little bit slower, as just so many cars. Bubba's in it, Jones in it, Bowman got in it. It looks like, Ryan Preece gets underneath Alex Bowman there. And if Christopher Bell also got a little bit of airtime when he got hit by Jones, as many, many big impacts there. As the red flag has been lifted, cars will begin to get back going, as now we have so many cars out of the race, a lot of front contenders. It looks like everyone came to pit road. Kyle Larson will lead the race off pit road after starting second, falling way back, and moves back to the field. He now will restart first, with Chris Buescher moving up, Rowdy X staying, Blaney staying in his position, and Ricky Stenhouse has made his way through the field as well. Kyle Larson, William Byron will choose the inside, Hendrick teammates, Ford's on the outside, Kyle Busch and Stenhouse in row 3. As green flag's back in the air, Buescher will give a better push to McDowell than Byron does to Larson, as McDowell will edge out into turn 1 and take the lead away. Buescher and McDowell both move to the inside now, as they try to move back up, but Stenhouse moves up. McDowell abandons Busch to go to the outside. Hendrick teammates working strong on the inside to get back up there, but it looks like Stenhouse is going to get... Stenhouse and Blaney abandon McDowell. McDowell's going to drop way back, as he's going to get picked up by Harrison. But Blaney, Almirola and Harvick do not want to work with Blaney. They want to go to the lead, as Almirola and Harvick will go to first and second. As Stenhouse almost gets wrecked, puts Buescher in the wall. That is not going to be good. That may blow a tire for one of them, as Byron and Larson have made their way back up to the front once again. Larson from front to back, constantly it seems, as Larson will take the lead away. Byron back up to second. Almirola and Harvick, Storehouse teammates falling back on the inside. Blaney back up to third. Tyler Reddick, where did he come from? Comes out of nowhere. He's moving up through the field. He's up to third now. Second, as Kyle Larson and Byron get separated. Larson's still in the lead. Blaney goes to the middle lane. Tyler Reddick has the lead. He will lead the lap. White flag is in the air. Last lap here at Daytona, as Blaney and Reddick side by side. Now to not. Reddick and Ty Gibbs working well together. Byron to the inside, picking up Kyle Larson. Once again, Larson back to the front again, as Reddick switching lanes, trying to keep the lead. Ty Gibbs driving back. Here comes Kyle Busch and AJ Allmendinger, as a ton of moves being made. Tyler Reddick has to jump to the inside. William Byron to the lead now with help from Ty Gibbs. As here we go, big wreck. Blaney, Larson, Gibbs, huge wreck. Reddick, Almirola and Harvick working together. They go to the lead. They push out. Harvick goes to the outside. It's a photo finish at the line. I'm going to have to say, I think Kevin Harvick got it, but we're going to have to look at a replay there after we have to go back on everything that happened. There was a huge wreck coming out of turn 4, and then moves were just being made constantly. Here's the wreck, as I think Blaney just got a bad push from what looks like it was Rowdy X. Hooks Larson, same thing that happened with the big one, just a little less severe, collecting Ty Gibbs, and Kyle Busch and AJ Allmendinger just had nowhere to go, which is unfortunate for Kyle Busch. He's having a good day. But here it looks like Kevin Harvick is going to win the Daytona 500 here, as he just barely edges out Eric Almirola at the line, as here's the rest of the field as well, as we see it one more time. With no more than a couple yards to go, Kevin Harvick passes Almirola to win the Daytona 500. Congratulations to Harvick, as he had a pretty mediocre season 1. He's going to start it off strong with a win here, as here have our finishing results. Harvick, Almirola, Byron, Elliott, Reddick, Suarez, McDowell, Chastain, Buescher, and LaJoie are your top 10, as Burton, Yaley, Stenhouse, Daly, and McLeod having stellar days, just avoiding all the carnage. They're going to all end up with top 15s, as 16th on back, all wrecked. A ton of torn up sheet metal here, as Penske teammates of Cindric and Logano finish in the back, Truex in the back, as unfortunate days for so many of these guys who are doing so well. Rowdy X, Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace were all up front most of the race, but just got caught up in the big one. As here, if we look at the point standings now after this race, Harvick leads the points with 43 points, winning the race and leading a lap. He gets 3 bonus points for leading a lap, as some of the points have been shuffled up a little bit due to people leading a lap. Like Kyle Busch won the stage and led a lap. He vaults from about like 20th all the way up to 11th, which is great for him for winning the stage and leading that lap. And looks like the 29, for the point standings, the 29 fan car what it will be referred to for you guys and the fans. So looking for a good point season for them. And then rounding out the field, Austin Cindric not off to a good start here with 1 point. Martin Truex moves up a little bit since he did lead that one lap with Todd Gillen and Joey Logano ending up in wrecks and finishing towards the rear. Welcome back, race fans, to the second race of the Season 2 of the Yahoo Cup Series. This week, the drivers have arrived in the city of St. Louis to run around Worldwide Technology Raceway, which is a 1.25-mile track. Some of these drivers need to have a rebound week today after being involved in the big one at Daytona last week. It's a shorter race this week, only being a 9-lap event, but chaos can still erupt here at Gateway. With it racing like a short track, we may see the bumper be used quite often here today. And with all that said and done, let's head on over to our ones to watch. Kevin Harvick was the Daytona 500 winner, looking to go back-to-back here today. Chase Elliott was really fast in practice yesterday, but had a very poor qualifying effort, and Jacob Cooper was able to claim the 29 for this week, and don't forget to leave a comment to race next week. Now let's head down to pit road to get to command start engines.
What's up,
Gateway.
Motor Speedway? Drivers, start your engine!
With the drivers rolling off of pit road, let's get our starting lineup. In row 1, we have Kyle Busch starting first and Ryan Blaney on his inside. Then row 2 is Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. Row 3 having Martin Truex and Joey Logano, two people who wrecked last week. Row 4 is William Byron and Ross Chastain. And then row 5 rounding out the top 10 is Tyler Reddick and Austin Cindric. Row 6 has AJ Allmendinger and Ricky Stenhouse, a couple of underdogs. Row 7 is Daniel Suarez, Harrison Burton, and some more underdogs. Row 8 is Ty Gibbs and Austin Dillon. Then following them in row 9, we have Christopher Bell and Alex Bowman in a beautiful best friends paint scheme. Row 10 is Brad Keselowski and Bubba Wallace. Then in row 11 is Michael McDowell and Kyle Larson. Row 12 has Jacob Cooper and Eric Almirola, with row 13 having Chase Briscoe and Carson Hocevar. Following them in row 14 is Chris Buescher and Todd Gillen, a pair of Fords. Then row 15 is Ryan Preece and Corey LaJoie. Row 16 has Eric Jones and Chase Elliott. Row 17 behind them will be Jimmy Johnson and Ty Dillon. Then rounding out the field in row 18 will be BJ McLeod and JJ Yaley. Now we get a race overview of Worldwide Technology Raceway. It's 9 laps of 1.25 miles. On lap 4, there's a stage. The end of the stage, Kyle Busch is on the pole, and this was the track that replaced New Hampshire Motor Speedway for anyone doing. Now here's your field ready to take the green flag at Gateway, and green flag is in the air. The field is under green here with Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney leading them into turn 1. Ryan Blaney's going to edge out Kyle Busch going into 1, but Kyle Busch will have the run on the outside here to get the lead down the backstretch. Kevin Harvick going to take second place away from Blaney going down the back. He gets a run as Hamlin takes him 3 wide for third. Joey Logano up to third, though, as Hamlin dives it in, looking to get third away from Logano. Kevin Harvick sneaks to the outside of Kyle Busch, exiting turn 4. Harvick will have the run and will get the lead to lead lap 1 here. Kevin Harvick from 4th to 1st here on lap 1. He leads the lap, clears Kyle Busch going into 1. Logano and Kyle Busch is outside trying to take second away. Ross Chastain has entered the top 5, looking to get by Denny Hamlin as Harvick still has the lead going down the back. Logano's going to clear Busch for second. Chastain now looking for third over Kyle Busch. Martin Truex has entered the top 5. It's going into turn 3 as a lot of people trying to swarm to the inside now. Joey Logano looking to get to the inside of Harvick. Oh, contact between Reddick and Cindric. That looks like it was for 10th place there. Cindric up at the wall, but Harvick will lead lap 2. Chastain to the inside of Logano for second. He's going to get it going into turn 1. Kyle Busch and Martin Truex still side by side for 4th. Chastain clears Logano in the middle of the turn. Denny Hamlin puts Ryan Blaney in the wall. That's much worse damage than Cindric, as Byron's going to look for 4th, over Kyle Busch. He's going to get it, and 3rd away from Logano, as Ryan Blaney's going to come to pit road. Chastain trying to close it on Harvick, as Harvick has led every single lap here. He might go back-to-back, as Chastain trying to get to the outside of Harvick. I don't know if it'll work, but it looks like it is. He's going to get to the outside. Harvick shouldn't have left the outside for Chastain, as Truex now going to take it 3 wide for 3rd, just like Byron did on Truex when Byron got to third. As now Chastain, this is for the stage, as Harvick moves Chastain up the racetrack. Kevin Harvick's going to clear Chastain for the lead. Harvick will win the stage. Chastain second, then Logano, Truex, Suarez. As Chastain sends Harvick into the turn. That looks like it was payback for Harvick doing Chastain. But that is massive damage to the back end of Kevin Harvick. As here's a replay, Chastain just sends Harvick into the turn. As the field somehow, the entire field avoids Kevin Harvick here. As if we have it in slow motion, as Harvick just got bullied by Chastain, and big impact sends the car in the air as the field somehow manages to all avoid Harvick. And if we just give replay of the contact, the massive, massive damage, that will likely take Harvick out of the race. As we'll have to see what NASCAR does with Chastain here. Yeah, Harvick is going to take it to the garage. As here's the field on pit road. Looks like everyone comes to pit road after the stage is over. As Joey Logano will win the race off pit road. Martin Truex follows him in second. But that's big for Logano. Goes from third to first. As Chastain loses some spots, having to repair the damage. And Suarez, his Trackhouse teammate, loses some spots. As Kyle Larson had a massive, really good pit stop, gaining many positions, entering the top 10. As Ryan Blaney will get the free pass after coming to pit road under green. As it looks like Ross Chastain will get penalized. He will get a 20-spot penalty. So he goes from 3rd to 23rd, I believe. So he's now in the back of the pack. As here's your field choosing lanes. Joey Logano on the outside, Truex on the inside. Your field is back to green here. As Brad Keselowski's going to make it 3 wide on the restart. Brad has come all the way from 20th to get up to 2nd. As big move by him. He's side by side for 2nd. And Logano clears for 1st. Oh, there's a crash. Daniel Suarez and Ty Gibbs. Massive, massive impact on the opening or the exit of pit road, where the wall opens up for cars to enter the track. It looks like Tyler Reddick might have gotten some minor damage in that, but here's a replay. Massive impact for both of them as Daniel Suarez hits the inside wall first. As if we see what happened, looks like Suarez washes up the track and gets into Byron and bounces off of him, and Ty Gibbs just had nowhere to go, getting collected as huge impacts as Ty Gibbs backs into Tyler Reddick after impact with the walls. If we look at the impacts one more time, Suarez and Gibbs both lifted up into the air. Massive, massive impacts. Hopefully, okay, their cars get towed to the garage. Tyler Reddick will be able to continue as a small amount of cars come back to pit road. Chastain back up pit road, and Hamlin, it looks like. Chastain will win the race off pit road, though. Tyler Reddick comes off at the tail end of all that. As Chastain, Almirola move up. Hamlin loses a spot. And Todd Gilliland, Cindric looking just to get slightly fresher tires over the competition, maybe gain some spots. As field picking lanes again, Logano and Truex both 1st and 2nd, outside, inside. As green flags like the air, Truex gets a much better restart because Christopher Bell helps him. As Keselowski's going to look 3 wide outside, going through turn 1 and 2. He's going to make it work. Keselowski's going to have the run down the back. He's going to be able to take the lead here. He has gained 20 positions to get all the way to 1st now, as he's going to not be able to clear going into 3 and 4. Truex is going to fight back on the inside, clear Logano. Logano now stuck 3 wide middle between Byron and Bell, it looks like, but they got to all get separated. William Byron now trying to make a move for the lead. They are still 3 wide. Truex holding his own, but it looks like Brad Keselowski's going to get the run. Kyle Busch making it 3 wide for 2nd. It's Keselowski and Byron down the back. Then Larson has entered the top 5. He's come even farther back than Brad. As Busch and Byron still side by side. Larson going to get to the outside of Truex. It's Christopher Bell. And it's the white flag here, Gateway, already. As Brad Keselowski has the lead going into turn 1. William Byron, Kyle Busch. There's contact between Logano and Bell. As Kyle Larson and Truex side by side for 4th. What can Byron do? Byron looks low. He goes high. Now Brad Keselowski gets the inside. What will Brad do? They're 3 wide for 3rd. As Brad sends it in, he's going to clear William Byron. As there's a contact at the back. Chaos going on the back. But Brad Keselowski's going to have the lead. And Brad Keselowski will win with 3 wide for 2nd. It looks like Truex was able to get 2nd away from, or hold off 2nd from Byron and Larson. As we saw the rest of the field cross the line. Crazy race here at Gateway. It looks like AJ Allmendinger and Chase Briscoe wrecked at the end. And Joey Logano and Christopher Bell not very happy at each other. They've got together and made a lot of contact there at the end. They went all the way from being in the top 5 to barely in the top 15. As here's your finishing results. Brad Keselowski is your winner. Martin Truex, William Byron, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, your top 5. Chase Elliott, Jacob Cooper, Ricky Stenhouse, Bubba Wallace, and Austin Dillon rounding out your top 10. As Bell and Logano go back to 15th and 17th from all the contact they made on the last few laps. That will be very interesting to see next week at Bristol, or a few weeks from now at Bristol. See how they race each other there, if they ever see each other. As here's the rest of the field. Denny Hamlin couldn't get back to the top 20. As we saw, Ross Chastain rallied back to 11th place finish after a 20 spot penalty and then pitting. As let's look at the point standings now. William Byron is first of the points over Chase Elliott by 4 points. Ross Chastain is in third, and Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski are top 5. Michael McDowell is 6th, which is really good for him, and Stenhouse in the top 10. Kevin Harvick goes from 1st to 11th after finishing last. It's good that he's managed to stay in the top 15, though, in the points. As Christopher Bell in 20th after not having a very good day after all the contact that was made between him and Logano. Logano in 27th because of that, with only 28 points. J.J. Yaley just outside the top 20 still. Bowman, Hamlin, and Blaney also have some work to do, along with Logano, as the back part of the field. Austin Cindric and Chase Briscoe have not had a very good start to the season as they round out the field in the points. Ty Dillon, Todd Gillen back there as well. And we'll see you next week at Bristol. Welcome back, Yahoo Cup Series race fans, to race 3 of the second season. Today, the drivers will endeavor the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway here in Tennessee. It's going to be tough to pass at Bristol because every groove here can be raced on, so drivers will only need to get a run off the top or grind the inside. With almost 30 degrees of banking at Bristol, the drivers will barely need to use the brakes to be able to make it through these turns. And with the preview out of the way, let's head on and check out our ones to watch. Justin Haley is in his first ever Yahoo Cup Series race today, and thanks to Diecast Buffet to making this custom for me. Kyle Larson wrecked in qualifying and will have to come from the rear, but luckily he's very good at Bristol, so it should be easy for him. And Michael McDowell had a fantastic qualifying lap. He is starting far up at the front today. Let's see if he can stay there as he's having a strong start to the season. And NASCAR and Dogs claim the 29 for Bristol Motor Speedway, and don't forget to comment to have your name on a race car for the Yahoo Cup Series. Now let's get to pit road to get the command.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world and wish they could be here, let's get ready to rumble!
As the field rolls off of pit road, let's get our starting lineup. Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin, Joe Gibbs' teammates in row 1, and row 2 has William Byron and Michael McDowell. Row 3 is Martin Truex and Brad Keselowski, with row 4 being Chase Elliott and Ty Gibbs. Row 5 behind them is Bubba Wallace and Corey LaJoie, and then row 6 is Ryan Blaney and Tyler Reddick. Row 7 will have Alex Bowman and Chase Briscoe, both needing some good runs today, and row 8 has Kyle Busch and Carson Hocevar. Row 9 is Austin Dillon, Justin Haley, and then rounding out the top 20 is NASCAR and Dogs and Chris Buescher. Row 11 is Kevin Harvick, AJ Allmendinger. Row 12 will be Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Trackhouse teammates. Row 13 has Eric Almirola and Ricky Stenhouse, with row 14 being Ryan Preece and Jimmy Johnson. Row 15 is Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, Penske teammates, and row 16 is Todd Gillen and Eric Jones. Then in row 17 is Harrison Burton and Ty Dillon. And row 18 is BJ McLeod, JJ Yaley. And then rounding out the field will be Kyle Larson having to come from the rear. Now here's your overview for today's race. We are at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's a half-mile length, very high banks here, as said earlier, with very high banks, almost 30 degrees of banking. It's a 12-lap event, and the end of the stage will be at lap 6. Now here is your field covered to the green. Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin will lead them to the green flag. And green flags in the air as they storm on from the turn 1. Christopher Bell dives it into turn 1. Looks like he's going to be able to clear Denny Hamlin coming out of the turn, as the rest of the field mostly is still side by side. Byron and McDowell for third. Christopher Bell has cleared Hamlin. They go into turn 3 and 4. Denny Hamlin now getting pressure from William Byron. William Byron sticking to the inside, but Hamlin gets the run off the top. Christopher Bell will lead lap 1. Michael McDowell almost clearing William Byron for third. Brad Keselowski's going to split them 3 wide for third. As Christopher Bell still leads, Hamlin's now going to jump to the inside. Brad Keselowski making a move for third. He's 3 wide middle, McDowell and Byron. Looks like Denny Hamlin's going to try and dive it into the inside of Bell. Brad clears McDowell with Byron still on his inside. Bell will continue to lead with Hamlin on his inside. As it looks like Ryan Preece is having trouble coming to pit road. As they're side by side, it looks like Tyler Reddick gets loose into Corey LaJoie, spinning out Corey LaJoie as we have our first caution already here at Bristol. Hopefully it doesn't turn into chaotic races. Reddick just seemed to have driven in too high into the turn and just clipped Corey LaJoie in his left rear, or not even his left rear, just all the way up on his door and just spun him around. Looks like LaJoie got slight contact with the outside wall. Let's get a slow motion of him hitting the wall. As, the left front just slapped the outside wall, but nobody else made contact. with LaJoy other than Tyler Reddick, as LaJoy will be able to continue on. As some cars come to pit road, as Kyle Busch leads them in, he will lead them off as well. Kyle Larson is second off of pit road here, but none of the top 10 looked like they had come to pit road. Kyle Busch was first off. Larson, Chastain gained positions relative to pit road. Blaney falls back. Tyler Reddick loses a bunch of spots as he needed to make some repairs. And here's your field choosing lanes. Denny Hamlin had the lead at the time of caution. He will choose the inside. Christopher Bell on his outside. As green flag is going to be back in the air here as they go into turn 1. Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell lead him in. As Hamlin tries to dive it in just like Bell did, but it looks like it's not going to work. Bell stays on his outside. William Byron 3 wide for the lead. He's trying to lead a lap as Bell and Hamlin have gotten them bonus points. As Byron dives it in, Hamlin dropping back with Bell in the lead. Byron side by side for the lead. Looks like Bell is going to continue to edge him out and keep the lead. Brad up to third as he's going to push Bell, as Bell's going to be able to clear Byron, but Byron back to the inside as Brad Keselowski on the run. Ty Gibbs has entered the top 5 as Denny Hamlin continues to drop back as Christopher Bell remains in the lead still, having a dominating performance here. But Brad Keselowski is going to try and sneak to the outside. Not going to work. Ty Gibbs to Keselowski's inside, but Brad gets the run. Bell still leads. Byron drops back a little bit now as he is stuck on the inside, not able to get a run. As it looks like Brad Keselowski's Bell runs the middle lane, opening up the outside for Brad. He's going to take advantage of it. Brad now has the lead. They dive into 3 and 4 as this is the last lap of the stage. Bell tries to dive it in, but it's not going to work. Brad stays on his outside. Brad's going to get the lead. He will get those lead lap bonus points and will win the stage with Bell, Gibbs, Byron, and McDowell being the rest of your top 5. As now Christopher Bell starts to drop back as Brad Keselowski is cleared for the lead. Ty Gibbs is up there now. Ty Gibbs, the rookie, has struggled the first 2 races, but he's up there. He struggled because he's wrecked in both of them. But Brad Keselowski continues to lead. But he has pressure from Ty Gibbs on his inside. Alex Bowman's having a strong run. Bell and Byron still battling. Byron has just stayed in 3rd and 4th the entire race as Christopher Bell is rallied back. He's locked back in as Hamlin moves Byron out of the way as he's now stuck 3 wide middle between 200 cars. As Bell's going to push Gibbs by. Looks like Gibbs was able to lead that lap, and he's going to dive it to the inside there. And is going to clear Brad for the lead. Ty Gibbs is out clear for the lead. The rookie going for his first career win. But Christopher Bell, Brad Keselowski side by side for second. Denny Hamlin and Byron side by side for 4th. As Chris Buescher has made his way up from 20th to the top, almost to the top 5. As Ty Gibbs still in the lead here. Bell and Keselowski side by side. Hamlin, Byron still side by side as Larson all the way from the back has made his way up as Larson gets wrecked. Hard impact to the inside wall, and he comes back up collecting Blaney, Elliott, and Truex. Massive wreck on the backstretch, taking out 4 cars. Red flag conditions as a ton of debris everywhere as Larson just absolutely clobbered the inside wall, and then Blaney had nowhere to go, just getting destroyed by torpedoing Larson coming back across the track. As it looked like, I believe, Larson got loose and into Bowman, and then Chastain just didn't lift and kind of just spun him out from there. As let's get one more replay of the impact as he hit so hard, he bounced into the air, and then right there hits Blaney up into Truex and spins out Elliott. Looks like Elliott got in the air a little bit too. He went hard into the inside wall. They are, all 4 of them are the first 4 out of the race. It looks like a lot of people come to pit road, but a lot of people stayed out as well, as we'll see here in a second. As Ty Gibbs leads the race off pit road, Keselowski in second. They will stay 1-2, it looks like. Byron and Bell swap spots. Buescher and Hamlin swap. McDowell, Bowman swap. And Hocevar and NASCAR and Dogs will swap positions. As Ty Gibbs is having a phenomenal performance, but he's going to have to come through some cars as a ton of people who had already pitted stayed out. Like Ryan Preece, Eric Jones, and Corey LaJoy all stay out, with Jimmy Johnson, Tyler Reddick now back up there. As green white checkered here, 2 to go. It's an overtime restart. As Ryan Preece and Eric Jones side by side for the lead. Ty Gibbs making a big 3 wide move to try and get back to the top 5. Reddick bumps Johnson out of the way a little bit, trying to make something happen. But Ty Gibbs already back into the top 5 as Preece and Jones remain side by side for the lead, but Jones will have the run on the outside as Ty Gibbs already up to 3rd. White flag is in the air one more time around here at Bristol. Can Ty Gibbs get back to the lead here? It'll be a phenomenal performance. Looks like he's going to creep to the outside of Jones. He does. Ty Gibbs and Eric Jones side by side down the back. Can Bell and Keselowski do anything as they're right behind him? But Jones just does not have the speed on the old tires. Brad's right there underneath Ty Gibbs, but Ty Gibbs will get his first ever career win here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Crazy last lap turn of events. He had to come all the way from, I believe, 8th place to get back to the lead in just 2 laps. As congratulations to Ty Gibbs, the rookie, being able to beat out all these veterans here at a tough racetrack. As here's your finishing results: Gibbs, Bell, Keselowski, Jones, Buescher, Byron, Preece, McDowell, Reddick, and Kyle Busch are your top 10. As Jones and Preece had a bold strategy to stay out, and Reddick, sorry. and Johnson ends up 11th. Chastain back up to 12th after kind of causing that big last lap crash to lead us into overtime. As Kyle Larson, who started last, finishes last, he was back into the top 10 though. Looked like he had a car to win the race. Unfortunately, never had the chance as he ended up getting wrecked. As same for Blaney, Elliott, Truex. Didn't really have race-winning cars, but they all just ended up in the wreck. As here's your point standings. Byron's still in the lead by a lot. It looks like Byron, Keselowski have kind of pulled away, have a big lead over everyone else, but McDowell having a phenomenal season so far as he is third in the points. He is right now in your final four. As here is everyone who rounds out the top 20. Chase Elliott still 11th after having a bad day. Alex Bowman up to 20th. As I forgot to comment, Ty Gibbs enters the top 10 after winning and having a good stage. It's Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, a couple of guys who just had a lot of mediocre races so far. Just not able to get high in the points, but hopefully this season will turn around soon. In a few weeks when we arrive at the Charlotte Roval. With AJ Allmendinger as well, he should be strong there. As Ryan Blaney has had a just terrible start to the season. He wrecked at Daytona. He wrecked at Gateway, which had a bad race at Gateway, and he's wrecked at Bristol. He'll hopefully turn it around in a few weeks at the Roval. Welcome back to the Season 2 of the Yahoo Cup Series, race fans. Race 4 will be taking place on a much more different track than what these drivers are used to. The Charlotte Roval has many passing opportunities for the drivers to take advantage of. However, they must be precise about these passes or else things can get very chaotic. From constantly transitioning from the main Charlotte Oval, then returning back to the road course, these cars will be under a lot of strain here today. With the race preview out of the way, let's check out our ones to watch. Daniel Suarez is starting up towards the front today. He needs a really good outing to move up towards the front of the point standings as he is currently towards the back half right now. Bubba Wallace is not usually up front at road courses, and he also needs a really good outing. Hopefully he could stay where he starts today. Michael McDowell is always really strong at road courses. He has to work his way up to the front of the pack a little bit. He's having a really strong season right now. And DoorDash Cup Series was able to claim the 29 car for this week's event. And remember to comment to be in the next race. Now let's get to pit road to get the command.
Drivers, start your engine!
As these cars roll off of pit road, let's get our starting lineup. In row 1, we have Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell. Row 2, it's Daniel Suarez and Bubba Wallace. And then in row 3 is Kyle Busch and AJ Allmendinger. Row 4 has Joey Logano and Chase Elliott, with row 5, Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, Joe Gibbs' teammates. Row 6 is Martin Truex and Ross Chastain, then in row 7 is Michael McDowell, William Byron, two guys having a strong season so far. Row 8 is Austin Dillon, Alex Bowman. Row 9 will be Ryan Blaney, Ryan Preece. Row 10 is Brad Keselowski and DoorDash Cup Series, with row 11 having Chris Buescher and Eric Almirola. Row 12 is Kevin Harvick, Eric Jones, and behind them in row 13 will be Corey LaJoie and Justin Haley. Row 14 is Carson Hocevar and Ricky Stenhouse, and in row 15 will be BJ McLeod and Austin Cindric. Row 16 is Chase Briscoe, Harrison Benton, with row 17 having Todd Gillen and Jimmy Johnson. Row 18 is Connor Daly making another appearance here, and JJ Yeley. Then rounding out the field in row 19 is Kyle Larson and Ty Dillon. The overview for the Charlotte Motor Speedway is that this is a half oval, half road course. It's about 2 1/3 mile long. It's an 8-lap event, and we'll have the stage break here at lap 4. It's going to be a chaotic race, or it might be a clean race, and the leader might be able to get away. We'll see what happens. Here's your field, ready to take the green flag here. And green flag is in the air. Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell will lead them into turn 1, as Tyler Reddick's already going to clear Bell for the lead, as Daniel Suarez tries to get to the inside for second, but Bell's going to be able to clear him coming out of the first hairpin. Bubba gets back to the inside of Suarez as we're approaching the second hairpin. Tyler Reddick remains to the lead. Bell in second. Suarez will probably clear Bubba as, Joey Logano already gets spun out by Denny Hamlin. Unfortunate for Logano as he needed a strong point stay. As Allmendinger's cracked the top 5 now, getting by Kyle Busch, I believe, for 5th. As it's clean up front, though, as Reddick will lead, Bell, Suarez, Bubba, and Allmendinger all single file. As Tyler Reddick coming out of the second chicane, he will lead lap 1, but Bell's going to try and look to the inside here for the lead. As they're side by side going through the turns 1 and 2, as Allmendinger looking under Bubba for 4th, but Reddick's going to maintain the lead going through the hairpin. As Suarez gets to the inside, trying to get to second, as he's almost going to get there, but Bell's going to be able to fight back on the inside. Allmendinger still trying to get 4th away from Bubba Wallace. As Chase Elliott's through the field, Kyle Busch driving back a little bit. Tyler Reddick will remain in the lead as we approach the first chicane. as Suarez is still side by side with Bell. Looks like he's going to be able to clear, though, as they were 3 wide back there. Bubba Wallace falling outside the top 5. Allmendinger and Elliott side by side for 4th now, as Reddick still in the lead. Suarez up to 2nd, Bell falling back to 3rd. Allmendinger and Elliott side by side. Oh, we already have a caution. We have our first crash here today. So it looks like Ross Chastain and Austin Dillon will be involved, with Ty Gibbs possibly being involved in some retaliation here. Let's look at the replay. Ty Gibbs just seemed to have sent Chastain into the turn. Austin Dillon having nowhere to go, as Dillon was having a strong run. He really needed a good points day here to move up to the field with the points. But we'll have to see what NASCAR does about Ty Gibbs, as he just sent Chastain in retaliation into the turn, and Austin Dillon having nowhere to go, as it looks like Ty Gibbs will be disqualified from the race for intentionally wrecking Ross Chastain. As here we have pit stops here. Some of the leaders coming in for fresh tires. Christopher Bell led him down pit road. He leads them out of pit road, as here's the field exiting pit road. Let's see where they come out. Bell stays in first off of pit road. Kyle Busch and Truex both getting positions. Bell but losing more positions on pit road. Bowman moving up. Byron Keselowski staying. Michael McDowell lost a spot on pit road. Him and Bowman swapped positions. As here's your field choosing their lanes. Reddick and Suarez will still be first and second, as Allmendinger, Hamlin, and Elliott all gain positions as Christopher Bell came to pit road. And green flag is back in the air here, as Tyler Reddick's already going to clear for the lead again. He seems to have a pretty strong car, as Daniel Suarez is going to clear for second. Allmendinger and Hamlin side by side for third, as Blaney is now up there trying to get a good point size. Oh, Tyler Reddick braked late. He locked up the front tires. Suarez is able to get to the inside for the lead. Tyler Reddick might not be able to get the stage win after dominating the first half of the race. Allmendinger is clear for third. Elliott trying to get fourth away from Hamlin. We'll have to see what happens. Suarez looks to be clear of Reddick, moves him up the track there to get the lead, as Reddick almost turns Suarez, and it looks like Reddick's not even going to win the stage. Allmendinger is going to get through to win the stage. Reddick second, Elliott third, Suarez fourth, Hamlin fifth, as Suarez has now fallen outside the top 5 as he got stuck out on 3 wide outside, as Allmendinger now clear for the lead. Reddick has fallen to second. Elliott and Hamlin still side by side, but Elliott's going to clear Hamlin there. So it looks like DoorDash Cup Series is going to be able to crack the top 5. This is the first time all season we've seen the 29 car be this far up at the pack, other than the Daytona 500. As Suarez, he continues to lose even more positions, as there's a lot of contact there. As Allmendinger is still in the lead. Elliott's side by side now with Reddick for second, looking like he's going to be able to clear Reddick coming through these turns, as DoorDash Cup Series is past Hamlin for fourth, as Elliott now is going to be able to he's trying to chase down Allmendinger for the lead. So we go through the hairpin here, single file pretty far through the field. Chris Buescher has started outside the top 20. He's about to be in the top 5, side by side for 5th, as we see Kyle Busch starting to get pretty close to the front. Allmendinger still in the lead. Elliott second. As they're 3 wide, Kyle Busch makes an aggressive 3 wide move there, but Buescher's going to be able to clear. Maybe no. Busch gets his inside. Hamlin outside the top 5 now. As Allmendinger still leading, but Elliott looks like he's going to try and sneak to the inside for the lead. Yeah, we have a battle for the lead now. As DoorDash Cup Series gets to the inside, Reddick with a battle for third. Kyle Busch has entered the top 5 while he is side by side for Buescher. Allmendinger is going to be able to fight back against Elliott, but it's not going to work. Elliott stays side by side going to the second hairpin, as Reddick stays at third, but DoorDash Cup Series does a crossover move. Kyle Busch finally clears Buescher. He's trying to get the draft and he's going to make a 3 wide move. He makes another 3 wide move here to gain some positions, trying to get to third. Elliott's going to be able to clear Allmendinger. I completely forgot about the battle for the lead. Elliott clears Allmendinger for the lead. As we're coming to the white flag here, Allmendinger crosses Elliott back over. Kyle Busch is clear for third. Christopher Bell back up to the top 5. As they're side by side for the lead between Elliott and Allmendinger. Going through the hairpin, Kyle Busch is now going to get to the inside of Allmendinger, as Elliott stays in the lead. Going through the second hairpin, Elliott in the lead. Allmendinger, Buescher side by side. Allmendinger, Busch side by side. Bell is up to 4th, as here comes Bowman. He's into the top 5. Where did Bowman come from? Kind of been quiet all day. Now he's in the top 5. But Elliott's still in the lead. Busch and Allmendinger side by side for second still. It looks like Christopher Bell's going to make a 3 wide move for second, try to get some points. But coming through the final chicane, Chase Elliott will be able to win at the Charlotte Roval. As we have a crash coming across the line. Ryan Blaney looks like he's going to be able to hold on to a top 10 while spinning across the start-finish line. But what a clean, crazy race, as there was only 1 caution, surprisingly. As we thought it was going to be a much more chaotic race here at the Charlotte Roval. As Chase Elliott's going to be able to maintain the lead over a hard-charging Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell to win at the Charlotte Roval. He gets his 2nd career win in the Yahoo Cup Series. Here's your finishing results. Elliott, Busch, Bell, Allmendinger, Bowman, DoorDash Cup Series, Buescher, Reddick, McDowell, and Blaney being your top 10. Some strong runs for these guys who are both far down in the points and higher up in the points, as Hamlin was not able to hold on to the top 10, going to end up 11th. Our current points leader, William Byron, ends up in 12th, as Daniel Suarez ended up 19th after just getting mixed up in a lot of chaos in the middle of the pack. As here's the rest of the field. Logano, after getting spun early, could never recover, ends up 30th. Chastain getting wrecked gets the 29th. As Ty Gibbs is going to unfortunately finish last after just getting his first career win at Bristol. As here is the point standings. William Byron will maintain the points lead with McDowell in second. McDowell having an insanely good season so far. As Kyle Busch moves to third, both RFK guys stay in the top 10. As the 29 fan car moves up into the top 10. As here's Alex Bowman, he's moved up to 11th. Hamlin up in the top 15 in points now after having a decent race. Allmendinger in the top 20 as well. And Bubba Wallace has entered the top 20. As Kyle Larson and Martin Truex still looking for that spark that they have not been able to find, as they have all just had unfortunate runs in a lot of these races. Same for Ryan Blaney, but he was able to have a decent day here at the Roval. And the rest of the field, Joey Logano has had a catastrophe of a season here, as he is outside the top 30 in points. Hopefully he can turn it around in the next race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Welcome back, race fans, to Season 2 of the Yahoo Cup Series. Race 5 will be taking place at the same track as Race 4, but this time on the oval configuration. The Charlotte Oval has many lines you can run all the way from the bottom to the top. However, the outside may be the preferred line here at the end of the race. The drivers will have to time their moves and use the draft to be able to make successful passes here today. And with all that said and done, let's check out our ones to watch. William Byron and Brad Keselowski have had a very strong start to the season so far. They are both top 5 in points and starting up front here today. Bubba Wallace has had a very mediocre start to the start of this year. However, he has had improvement from last season. He starts up front here today. And Eli Z was able to claim the 29 for this week's race. And don't forget to leave a comment so you can have a chance to race the 29. Now let's get down to the pits and get the command.
Please join me as Jeff, Jared, and Bobby say those 4 most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
As the drivers begin to roll off here, let's get our starting lineup. In row 1, we have William Byron and Kevin Harvick. Row 2 is Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin. Row 3 will be Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott, with row 4 having Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney. Rounding out the top 10 is Christopher Bell and Ricky Stenhouse, and then following them in row 6 is Chris Buescher and Kyle Larson. Row 7 is Harrison Burton and Ross Chastain, with row 8 having Tyler Reddick and a new Jordan Brand car and Justin Haley. Row 9 is Eli Z and Joey Logano, and rounding out the top 20 is Joe Gibbs' teammates Martin Truex and Ty Gibbs. Row 11 is a couple of Fords, Chase Briscoe and Austin Cindric. Row 12 will be Store-Haas teammates Ryan Preece, Eric Almirola. Row 13 is Daniel Suarez, Corey LaJoie, and then row 14 is Eric Jones and AJ Allmendinger. Row 15 is Carson Hocevar and Todd Gilliland, with row 16 being Michael McDowell and Alex Bowman. Row 17 will be Ty Dillon and Austin Dillon, Dillon brothers. Row 18 is BJ McLeod and JJ Yeley. Then rounding out the field is Jimmy Johnson. Race overview for today. We are at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is a 1.5 mile quad oval. Stage end at lap 5. This is a 10-lap race. And don't forget to leave a comment so you can race the 29 at Talladega. Now here's your field, ready to take the green flag here for the Coke 600. And green flag is in the air. William Byron and Kevin Harvick will lead them into turn 1, with Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin following them behind. Hamlin already trying to make an early 3-wide move, but Kyle Busch doing the same thing underneath them. William Byron dives it into 1 and 2. He's going to be able to clear Harvick off the corner. Brad Keselowski stuck 3-wide middle. He's dropping back. Denny Hamlin, big run. He's going to be able to get to second, side by side with Harvick going into 3. 3 wide around top 5 with Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch. Brad Keselowski dropping fast. William Byron clear for the lead and will come off of the corner and will likely lead lap 1 as he does. As Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick still side by side. Chase Elliott clears for 4th now as Ryan Blaney's going to make it 3 wide on the outside of Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. As Brad Keselowski continues to drop back since the start of the race. William Byron continues to lead. Hamlin and Harvick still side by side, but Hamlin's going to get a run again. Kyle Busch now gets side by side with Elliott. So we saw Brad Keselowski get a little bit of contact with Bubba as they're 3 wide. Blaney clears them. As Harvick going to try and dive it in, maybe get clear of Hamlin, but it's not going to be enough. Hamlin's going to have a good run. Ryan Blaney up there. Chris Buescher already flirting with the top 5. As Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch split Harvick 3 wide, as Harvick's now dropping back as well. Chase Elliott clear for 3rd. He's looking to set his sights on Hamlin for 2nd. There's 3 wide for 4th now. As Kyle Busch dives in, he's going to be able to clear Harvick and Blaney 3 wide, as Ryan Blaney has moved into the top 5. As he's side by side for 4th now, Kyle Busch. As Chase Elliott makes some moves to the inside for Denny Hamlin for 2nd. Here, as William Byron still continues to lead in dominating fashion. He is our points leader, to remind you guys. as Blaney and Busch are side by side for 5th, as Kyle Busch is cleared for 4th. He's going to get to the outside of Elliott for 3rd now, as Denny Hamlin's going to take the outside right up against the wall now, trying to set up to make a move on Byron for the lead possibly, as now Kyle Busch on the outside of Elliott. Blaney and Busch are still side by side for 5th. Harvick and Brad have dropped like rocks, as Hamlin to the inside for the lead now. William Byron might lose the lead for the first time this race, as Hamlin is currently in the lead, but Byron will have to run. Elliott does it in. Kyle Busch got dirty air and gets tight. Kyle Larson gets really loose, almost spins out, but saves it. As Elliott tries to make it 3 wide, gets the door shut on him by Denny Hamlin. As Kyle Busch still barely on Elliott's outside, as Christopher Bell now 3 wide for 5th with Buescher and Blaney. But Buescher dives it in. He's going to clear on the inside. Hamlin's still side by side with Byron for the lead. But Elliott gets turned and collects Hamlin and Byron. Massive crash between the leaders. That's a huge detriment to William Byron's points leaders. Here's a replay. Looks like Elliott may have had a bit of contact with Kyle Busch, turning him into Hamlin, which Hamlin got turned into Byron. And Elliott looks like he saves it. Byron, massive impact into the outside wall. Hopefully he is okay. Likely not going to be able to continue though. As here's one more replay of the impact. Big hit there. As everyone manages to somehow avoid them. As Denny Hamlin will be able to continue with only minor damage. William Byron is out of the race, our points leader and pole sitter. And here's a lot of people who came to pit road. Chase Elliott led them in with damage, but Martin Truex will lead the race off pit road with Kyle Larson as Elliott jots back due to needing a little bit of repairs. As here's the pit road exit as Martin Truex and Kyle Larson gain spots, Blaney and Elliott lose some. Eli Z gains a ton of positions, and there's the rest of the field as Justin Haley remains in his position. Brad jots back as he needed some repairs. As our stage results, at the time of caution, William Byron was still in the lead, and it's Hamlin, Elliott, Buescher, and Busch. However, Byron is out of the race, and Denny Hamlin is at the rear. As green flag is back in the air, Buescher already clears his Bell, makes an aggressive 3-wide move. As, ton of moves being made as Truex sent it in, gaining a ton of position, but he washes up. They're 4 wide going down the back. As the chaos here, as they're 4x4 at Charlotte, as Chris Buescher still leads. Truex and Elliott dive in, but they wash up the track here. As Buescher is still in the lead, as Truex is in the wall. He has a tire down, they avoid. Massive crash. The big one at the Coke 600 as the field has to stop to avoid hitting the rest of the cars. As lots of front runners here who came to pit road and a mix of people who stayed out. As we have a red flag as the track is blocked. Here's a replay. I think after Truex hit the wall from getting pinned against it with Chase Elliott, he blew a tire and Harrison Burton had to avoid. And Michael McDowell on top of Larson. Tyler Reddick got put up in the air after big impact with Harrison Burton. As one more replay, Michael McDowell almost vaulted over Larson as Suarez had a big hit as well on the inside wall. A lot of people who pit are out of this race now. Suarez, Reddick, Larson, McDowell. As here's everyone who pit. Ty Gibbs leads him in this time. He will lead him off as well. Eli Z came to pit road again. As here's the pit road exit. Ty Gibbs won the race off pit road. A lot of people moving up. Blaney loses more positions as he had some contact during that wreck. And Todd Gillen loses some positions as well. As Martin Truex will unfortunately not be able to continue due to all the damage he had in that wreck. But Chris Buescher maintains the lead, and Kyle Busch is still on the front row as well. As here's able to get in for the bells. Green flag is back in the air here again. As Kyle Busch edges out Chris Buescher, and there's already another wreck. Another big wreck here, taking out more cars. As this is a 5-car collision. It looks like, BJ McLeod and JJ Yaley also crashed in the back. I think trying to avoid it. So here's a replay. I think Jimmy Johnson just tried to make a move, but didn't get all the way to the inside of Ty Dillon. And just unfortunately causes another wreck. Chase Briscoe on top of Ty Gibbs. We've had multiple cars on top of other cars here today. As Justin Haley, just trying to avoid the wreck, spins out and clobbers the inside wall. And just unfortunate circumstances for all these guys. As now here's all the people out of the race. A ton of crashed cars here at the Coke 600. As here's all these people. Some of the people in the front have to pit because they're not going to make it to the end. As it was Chris Buescher, Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, and Ricky Stenhouse who were all trying to stay out for the rest of the race, but couldn't because they would not make it to the end due to all the cautions. But Ross Chastain and Joey Logano are willing to take that risk and stay out here as Ross Chastain has the lead and chooses the outside. It's green flag is back in the air. It's a green-white checker here. 2 laps remaining. As Eric Jones gives Ross Chastain a huge push. Where did Eric Jones come from as well? As Chase Elliott dives it in, the Ross Chastain on those old tires is not going to be able to hold him off as they're 3 wide now. 2x2. Eric Jones is in the lead as he has to run down the back passing Chase Elliott. But Chase Elliott's going to dive it in. Kevin Harvick now back up here. He has a chance at the win after falling back at the beginning of the race. So it's chaos around the track, all trying to fiddle around for positions. as Eric Jones will lead him to the white flag. White flag is in the air, one more lap around as they are still 3 wide for the lead between Jones, Elliott, and Harvick. As Harvick dives it in, Elliott seems to get a little tight there, not going to be able to hold it. He gets loose, almost hits Eric Jones, but he saves it. Eric Jones and Kevin Harvick side by side at the back. Eric Jones has the advantage due to the run, but Harvick's on a side draft. Here comes Blaney and Buescher. Buescher trying to come back, but not going to have enough time. As Harvick washes up the track, contact with Jones. Jones in the wall, but he stays in the gas. Eric Amarillo up the third. What can he do? Sneaks to the inside, but Eric Jones is going to be able to hold him off and win the Coke 600 here. Crazy Coke 600 is Eric Jones, who we saw started far in the back, but just played a good race and was able to get to the front. As we saw Joey Logano could not finish the race as he ran out of gas, and Chastain, I believe, was running out of gas as he crossed the start-finish line. As here's your finisher results, Eric Jones has an upset victory here at the Coke 600, with Kevin Harvick finally having a good finish since the Daytona 500 win. Eric Amarillo, his teammate, has a good race as well. Elliott 4th. Eli Z, the 29 fan car, gets a good top 5. That car has been really fast all season. Chris Buescher, Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, all are able to rebound for top 10s after having to come back from the rear. As here's pretty much everyone who just didn't finish the race, as Joey Logano ran out of gas and everyone behind him crashed out. As we had a ton of crashed cars, a lot of money for these teams was spent on this race here today. This was somehow more chaotic than the Daytona 500. As let's look at the point standings now, as Chris Buescher is now your points leader after having a good stage finish and a good finish. As Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott as well, Christopher Bell up there, as William Byron drops back to 5th even after winning the stage and leading a lap. As Brad Keselowski as well, same for him, falling back and struggling all race, is now 11th in the point standings. Kevin Harvick back up to 12th. Eric Amarillo, Denny Hamlin have stayed right there pretty much most of the season. As Ryan Blaney has a good finish, he moves up to the point standings. He's trying to rebound. As we have a lot of championship winning cars here. Martin Truex, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, all in the back after just being very unlucky at the start of the season. And here's the rest of the point standings with Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, just struggling at the start of the season. But stay tuned. In a couple weeks, we'll be at Talladega. Welcome back, Yahoo Cup Series race fans, to Race 6 of Season 2 of the Yahoo Cup Series. These drivers have arrived at Talladega, Alabama, to run a very dangerous track here, as it is a super speedway. They will be running in a large pack that has the opportunity for some big and massive crashes. But with that all quickly said and done, let's check out our ones to watch. Denny Hamlin has been very good as of late. He's had some strong finishes, and he will be starting on the pole for today's race. But on his outside will be Eric Amarillo. He's had a very strong Season 2 so far, especially for Stewart-Haas's standards. He starts on the front row. Bubba Wallace is still looking for that spark, but he's surrounded by other Toyotas that will hopefully work with him today. And lastly, NASCAR and Dogs was able to claim the 29 again. And don't forget for the rest of you to comment to race the next race. Now let's get to pit road and get the command.
Hello, race fans. The Alabama gang wants to welcome you to our home racetrack. We're ready to go racing. Drivers, start your engines.
Now, as the drivers get their engines started, let's check out the starting lineup. In row 1, we have Denny Hamlin and Eric Amarillo. Row 2 will be Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe. Row 3 is Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell. Row 4 is Martin Truex and Joey Logano. And row 5 is the first Chevy Kyle Larson with Chris Buescher on his outside. Row 6 will be Kevin Harvick and Bubba Wallace. Row 7 is Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon. Row 8 has Austin Cindric and Ryan Preece, with row 9 being Kyle Busch and William Byron. Row 10 has AJ Allmendinger and Brad Keselowski. Row 11 will be Michael McDowell and Daniel Suarez. Row 12 has Ross Chastain and Eric Jones, and behind them in row 13 is Harrison Burton and Justin Haley. Row 14 is Alex Bowman and NASCAR and Dogs. Row 15 is Chase Elliott and Carson Hocevar. Row 16, Jimmy Johnson, Ty Dillon. Row 17, Ricky Stenhouse and Corey LaJoie. Row 18 is Todd Gillen and JJ Yaley, and rounding out the field in row 19 is BJ McLeod. Race overview for the Talladega Superspeedway. We have a 2.66 mile long track, a 9-lap event. Points will be awarded on lap 4, and don't forget to leave a comment to be able to race at the next race. Will be at the Southern 500 at Darlington. Now here's your field ready to take the green flag here at Talladega, and green flag is in the air. Denny Hamlin and Eric Amarillo get pushes from their teammates Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe going into turn 1. Blaney quickly moves up the track as Logano are making it 3 wide. The Fords line up on the outside. They take off as Eric Almirola clears for the lead going down the back. His teammate Chase Briscoe and another Ford, Ryan Blaney, also all clear. 1, 2, 3. Joey Logano also trying to get clear with his teammate Ryan Blaney. So they make a move, and already around goes Chase Briscoe. Big impact is, Joey Logano gets clipped and upside down he goes. Joey Logano does one roll over here at Talladega as we already have a caution on lap 1 as we go to red flag already on the first lap here today. As you see the driver stopped on the backstretch. Let's get a replay as it looks like Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, Penske teammates, try to make a move on the Story Haas teammates to make an early move for the lead. As a really aggressive move on lap 1 ends up taking out Chase Briscoe. And Briscoe comes back down the track after bouncing off the wall and just clips Joey Logano as Logano's still going full speed to avoid the wreck and just does one clean rollover. So let's get a replay of the rollover as it looks like it just hits the tire and pops Logano up in the air and flips him over. As huge crash already on lap 1, as I don't know what that will mean for the rest of the race here. As they will both be out of the race. Chase Briscoe tried limping around the track, but there's no pit stops. Drivers are ready to go back green already. As Almirola and Hamlin back on the front row, green flags back in the air, just swapped inside and outside. But now Almirola being pushed by Blaney, Ty Gibbs still pushing Hamlin, as they are even coming off of turn 2, with Chris Buescher trying to help the Fords. The Toyotas all lined up on the outside as Ryan Preece farther back makes it 3 wide. It's Eric Almirola is going to be able to clear for the lead. Blaney and Hamlin side by side for second. Preece 3 wide outside making moves to get to the front. My apologies. It's early in the morning. But here's Bubba and Hamlin working together. And they moved up and abandoned the rest of the Toyotas. But Preece is going to make a move on Bubba. Bubba now by himself with no other Toyotas on the outside. But he gets a big push from Cindric. They're going to be able to work together and get back to the lead. Eric Almirola is still holding tough on the inside. But it looks like Hamlin and Bubba are going to have a good push from Cindric and Keselowski. They will be able to lead this lap. As it is last lap for the stage, points will be awarded this lap. As Cindric now trying to make something happen on that outside with Keselowski is, they move down. Big push here as Buescher and Keselowski go to the middle. Cindric blocks Keselowski, and Cindric goes to lead as, almost another wreck. As Bubba up into the wall. Too much speed, it looks like, I guess. As, McDowell also in the wall, but Keselowski and Buescher push down the trioval. But here comes Austin Dillon and Carson Hocevar. But back Keselowski won the stage. Austin Dillon, Chris Buescher, Denny Hamlin, Carson Hocevar will be your top 5 for the stage. Points will be awarded as, Michael McDowell on the wall. He keeps it out of the field and he spins out. Caution will come out for that. As Michael McDowell could not keep it from spinning out. As let's have a replay here. Bubba Wallace and Michael McDowell just had some contact. It looks like as McDowell may have washed up a little bit and just had contact and got put into the wall. And here, from that damage, could not keep it from spinning out. Hit the wall again. But luckily was able to keep it out from going into the pack as Truex and Reddick and maybe even Elliott probably would have been involved in that. But there is the second caution of the day. Still no pit stops. But it looks like McDowell and Bubba came in for some repairs as Austin Dillon and Keselowski now in the front row. Green flags back in the air. Austin Dillon led him back to the green, but did not have any help as Buescher and Keselowski just take off as Carson Hocevar abandons his Chevy teammate to go with the Fords as Preece and Almirola coming back on that outside. As now Hocevar will be in the lead with Keselowski still leading the inside. Austin Dillon holding tough in the middle lane. My apologies again. I am sorry for the poor commentary. But Carson Hocevar and Ryan Preece clear on the outside. As it looks like Austin Dillon holding tough in the middle as the Fords on the inside are dropping back. As that is a little bit odd. As Preece and Almirola make a big move to go for the lead. As they clear Hocevar. As it looks like they also went almost 4 wide there. As NASCAR and Dogs has entered the top 5. Kicking Almirola as he goes up the block. But Almirola got help. He's going to fall back. As Austin Dillon and Ryan Preece side by side. Dillon leads the lap. But Preece has more help, it looks like, on the outside. Here comes Ricky Stenhouse in the middle with other Chevys. Kyle Larson and William Byron. NASCAR and Dogs looks like he gets in 4th line, but Eric Jones had a strong day, but he gets shuffled out as he hits the inside wall with Chastain giving a bad push. But Preece and Almirola still leading the outside. Ricky Stenhouse, here's AJ Allmendinger and Justin Haley. So much is happening right now. So many moves. They are 4 wide throughout the field. As Almirola gets put on the wall. White flags in the air. Ricky Stenhouse is in the lead. Brad backs it up, trying to get help from Larson. As, there's a crash. Big crash. AJ Allmendinger in the catch fence. Oh my goodness. A violent crash here at Talladega. This will end the race under caution as the leaders took the white flag and crashed in 1 and 2. As who won the race? watching Kyle Larson, Ryan Preece, and Justin Haley as they were 3 wide. As replay here is, oh my goodness, just a horrific crash. As there was nothing AJ Allmendinger could do. He just got into it. Brad gave a bad push to Stenhouse, and AJ Allmendinger then vaulted off of Brad over Stenhouse into the catch fence. Oh my goodness, violent crash. Let's get one more replay in slow motion. As just a horrific crash, ripping up the front of the car. That might be the worst crash this series has seen, as he may have some injuries here. That was just not good at all. But here we start the question of who won. It looks like Kyle Larson is your winner at Talladega. His, I believe, second or third Yahoo Cup Series win. As here we have our finishing results. Larson, Preece, Buescher, Haley, Dillon, Cindric, Byron, Chastain, NASCAR and Dogs, and Harrison Burton is your top 10. Some of the Toyotas had just started coming through the field, as there's Hamlin in 11th, and a lot of them in the top 20 there. Looks like all of them maybe in the top 20 there. As Christopher Bell and Bubba Wallace just outside the top 20. Some guys like Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott just never got up to the front of the field. Just, I guess, never saw an opportunity to get through the field. They may have tried, just got unlucky with their moves. There's all your DNFs in the back. And now here's your point standings. Chris Buescher has a resounding lead now, as William Byron has gotten back up to second after his bad Charlotte finish. There's Kyle Busch in third, Elliott fourth, as that would, if the championship started now, your top 4 would be those guys, as the fan car having a strong season in fifth. And now Eric Jones, after his win at Charlotte, currently 11th. Brad Keselowski has fallen back to 15th. Bubba Wallace still around the 18th area, but Kyle Larson now up to 19th after today's win. Ty Gibbs, after winning Bristol, struggling in 22nd. Daniel Suarez has had a rough season in 29th. Even Martin Truex has had a pretty rough season in 26th. Jimmy Johnson kind of just cruising around. And now here's the rest of the field. Joey Logano and especially Chase Briscoe have just had horrendous starts this season, as they are currently 34th and 36th in points. Hopefully they can turn around in the Southern 500 at Darlington. Welcome back, race fans, to Season 2 of the Yahoo Cup Series. This is Race 7 of Season 2, here at the Southern 500 at Darlington Motor Speedway, located in South Carolina. We have 37 drivers ready to rip around this very sketchy racetrack, as they like to ride very close to the outside wall around here. If you go a little too fast or drive it a little too hard, you'll scrape the wall and could blow a tire a couple laps later. So these drivers got to be careful here to make it all the way to the end. Now let's check out our ones to watch here at Darlington. Tyler Reddick is within striking distance of a top 4 point spot. He's very good at this style of track, as he really likes to use that outside high lane. Joey Logano has had an absolutely terrible start to this season. He is currently outside the top 30 in points. He's looking for a season rebound here today. Kyle Busch has had a very strong start in this season. He is currently top 4 in the point standings. He has some work to do in this race, as he starts outside the top 10. And Apollo was able to claim the 29 car for this week. He starts pretty far back though, but remember to comment to be able to race in the next race. Now let's get to pit road to get the command to start engines.
And now, race fans, here to say the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome Cookout representative Rue Reeves.
Driver, start your engine!
Fire and hope.
Now as these drivers roll off of pit road, let's check out our starting lineup. In row 1, we have Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin. Row 2 will be Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney. Row 3 has Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano. Row 4 will be Kevin Harvick and Chris Buescher. Row 5 is Michael McDowell, Eric Almirola. A lot of Fords up in the front. And row 6 is Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe. Kyle Busch being your first Chevy. Row 7 is Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric, and behind them in row 8 is Carson Hocevar and AJ Allmendinger. Row 9 has Ty Gibbs and Kyle Larson. Row 10 will be Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones. Row 11 will be Daniel Suarez, Corey LaJoie, and behind them in row 12 is Hendrick teammates William Byron and Alex Bowman. Row 13 is Ricky Stenhouse and the fan car Apollo. Row 14 is Ty Dillon and Ross Chastain. Row 15 is Austin Dillon and Justin Haley. with row 16 having Todd Gillen, Martin Truex Jr., row 17 Harrison Burton and Jimmy Johnson, row 18 has J.J. Yaley and Ryan Preece, and rounding out the field in row 19 is yours truly, B.J. McLeod. That's not me, my apologies. Darlington Raceway, this is a 1.366 mile long track. This is a 10-lap event. Points will be awarded on lap 5 of this race. And don't forget to be the first to leave a comment to be able to race in the next race at the Long Beach Grand Prix. Now here's your drivers ready to take the green flag here at Darlington. And green flag is in the air. These drivers are here ready for a 10-lap race. Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin will lead them down into turn 1. Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney following suit. Christopher Bell drives it in deep. Looks like he's going to have a good run off the corner. As they're already 3 wide for 4th, Blaney's going to get the run off the outside. Christopher Bell clear for the lead. Hamlin trying to get in front of Reddick here. Joey Logano has already entered the top 5 as Brad Keselowski begins to fall back a little bit. Christopher Bell holds on to the lead. Hamlin clear for 2nd. He gets to the inside of Bell, but I think Bell's going to be able to get the run off the corner as he does. Reddick and Blaney side by side for 3rd. Logano 5th. They're 3 wide for 6th between Buescher, Harvick, and Keselowski. Lap 2 here. They dive into turn 1. Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin still 1st and 2nd. Joey Logano looking to make a move here on Reddick and Blaney. Reddick gets a little loose. That's off the corner. Oh, he gets more loose. Brad Keselowski's going to get turned. First caution here at Darlington on lap 2 already as Brad Keselowski goes harder to the inside wall. Hopefully he is okay. Let's get a quick replay here. It looks like Tyler Reddick gets loose, and I don't know if they checked up or just Kyle Busch may have gotten tight. Didn't really lift. I don't really know. Turns Brad Keselowski harder to the inside wall. As Kyle Busch continues, though, Keselowski will unfortunately probably not be able to continue, so there's heavy front-end damage on that car. So let's get one more replay of the impact here, as Brad Keselowski just harder to the wall, lifts up off the ground a little bit. Luckily, the car stayed on the ground and did not go over. As, Brad Keselowski has been taken to the garage area and has been escorted out of the healthcare center. As here's some people who decided to come to pit road. Ty Gibbs was the first in and will be first out of pit road here, as a couple of other fast guys that were in the back looking to get some fresh tires on. Here as you see Ty Gibbs, Martin Truex up on pit road. They have good spots. Ricky Stenhouse, stays in his position, but Alex Bowman loses some position. Taylor loses some spots. Jimmy Johnson gains some spots here. As here's your field, choosing the lanes, ready to take the green flag. Back here again, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin still in row 1 as Bell chooses the inside as it worked for the start. Green flag is back in the air. It's Joe Gibbs going to turn 1. Penske right behind them in row 2 as Reddick washes up a little bit. As they're 3 wide already. Hamlin goes up the track. It looks like Bell forced him up. Logano already up to 2nd here as he's trying to clear Hamlin, but Hamlin is around getting help from his own car, Tyler Reddick, down the back. As Ryan Blaney here in the 5th position, falling back as he gets tight. They're 3 wide for 5th. Bell remains in the lead. Joey Logano trying to get there. Chris Buescher has entered the top 5. But Reddick and Hamlin side by side for 3rd now. Busch has a good run off the corner. He's going to try and get to the outside of Reddick, but Reddick drives it in. Bell's still in the lead. He has led every lap so far. As Joey Logano, though, trying to catch him to get to the lead. Reddick still side by side with Hamlin. Buescher makes a big 3 wide move underneath them. That's going to be good for Hamlin, hopefully, as he'll be able to rip the outside and get a good run. But Buescher dives it in, going to be able to clear Reddick, it seems. As, Reddick gets super loose there. Whoa, barely keeps it off the wall. But here's a battle for the lead as it's the last lap of this stage. Joey Logano to the inside of Bell. He dives it in. He's going to be able to take the lead. Bell, this is the first time Bell has not been in the lead all race here. As Buescher and Hamlin side by side. Logano clears Bell here. As they're side by side. Oh, sorry, not side by side. Bell's going to try to push Logano into the 10, though. As Buescher and Busch are side by side for 4, try to get that 1 extra point. As Bell tries to dive it in, but it's not going to work. Joey Logano remains in the lead, and Joey Logano will be a stage winner. Bell 2nd, Hamlin 3rd, Kyle Busch up to 4th after wrecking back Keselowski earlier. Buescher in 5th as Bell dives it in side by side with Logano here. He tries to get it, but Logano's going to have to run off the top. Hamlin just cruising to 3rd. He's caught back up to the lead as Kyle Busch clear for 4th. Harvick has almost gotten 5th from Buescher, but they're still side by side here. As Joey Logano has cleared for the lead. He is now your new leader and is pulling away from these guys. Bell dropping back as Hamlin is up to 2nd now. Kyle Busch still in 4th, Harvick the 5th, and there's a crash. Big crash as Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, Chase Briscoe all involved in the race. Chase Briscoe is able to drive away from this wreck, but Eric Jones and Eric Almirola were not. As here's a replay. As it looks like they were 3 wide off the turn. Jones just, I don't know, got into the gas too early, so it looks like Bubba got some damage there in that side swipe Briscoe. Briscoe continues on, though. Eric Jones and Eric Almirola, both Erics, was stopped and were not able to continue as Bubba and Briscoe are, as Eric Jones and Eric Almirola have both been taken to the garage. As Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe continue on here. As here's your pitters, Briscoe pits, Bubba stays out as he did not have as much damage, but Briscoe being a major part of that wreck, he was in it. But here's some replays here of what have happened today. Brad Keselowski got turned on lap 2 by Kyle Busch, and then this wreck happened just now with Chase Briscoe and both Erics. As 3 guys are out of this race, Erik Jones, Aric Almirola, and Brad Keselowski. Here was the pit road exit. Chastain led them off with Harrison Burton. Cedric in 3rd, Ty Dillon 4th, Briscoe losing positions as he had to get some repairs. As your field choosing the lanes, Logano chooses the outside instead of the inside, which has been more dominant on these restarts. Green flags back in the air. It looks like he gets the edge going into turn 1, but Denny Hamlin drives it in. He has his teammate Bell right behind him. Kyle Busch lurking in 4th, trying to see if he can make something happen here. As Bell makes a move, they get really loose there. There's contact between them. Hamlin and Bell seem to have gotten into each other a lot this race. Joey Logano already clear for the lead. Kyle Busch ripping the outside here, trying to clear both of them. Looks like he's going to have to run and be able to do it. Harvick now looking 3 wide for 3rd between Hamlin and Bell. Bell continues to fall back as Joey Logano clear for the lead. Kyle Busch looking to try and go after him here. There's still 3 wide as Bell drops back a little bit though. Harvick and Hamlin stay side by side for 3rd. Busch back in the top 5 as he's on the outside of Bell in the more dominant line. Chase Elliott now looking to try and get a top 5 position. Logano interestingly chooses the inside, thinking Kyle Busch was going to go for it. He stays there, has good momentum, but Kyle Busch has the run. He's gaining on him a little bit. Hamlin and Harvick still at 3rd as the white flag is in the air. As you see the drivers drive it in hard, try to get everything they can. Kyle Busch sneaking to the inside of Logano. What can he do? He gets there, side drafts him as Busch is still trying to find a way to get by Harvick and Hamlin. They're still side by side for 3rd, but final turn of the final line. Kyle Busch drives it in, stuffs Logano on the wall here. Here's Denny Hamlin. Can he make something happen on the inside? This looks like it's going to be Joey Logano gets the run, and Joey Logano is going to win at Darlington with an incredible finish here. Just barely beat Kyle Busch as he got the run off the outside after being stuck in the wall by Kyle Busch. Crazy finish. Harvick looked like he was able to get 3rd from Hamlin, as Hamlin just did not have the run off the corner after taking him 3 wide, hoping maybe it would be more chaotic. As here's a replay. Kyle Busch stuffs Logano on the wall, and now we get a replay of the finish here. Yep, it looks like Harvick just pushed Logano by Kyle Busch, trying to get at least a 4 teammate in victory lane. As here is your finishing results. Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, and Bubba Wallace is your top 10. Who pitted? Ricky Stenhouse and Alex Bowman, Josh Chassé, and Martin Truex all came to pit road. All gained positions from the start of the race, from where they started the race, so it was a smart decision for them to come to pit road. Jimmy Johnson almost gets a top 20. Daniel Suarez unfortunately ends up with 24th. As you see the 3 people who are out, Erik Jones, Aric Almirola, and Brad Keselowski, unfortunately finishing results, as all 3 of those guys are having very solid seasons so far, as 2 of them have wins, being Erik Jones and Brad Keselowski. Now let's look at your point standings. Excuse me. Chris Buescher is first in the points still with 222 points. Kyle Busch at 2nd, and William Byron and Christopher Bell being 3rd and 4th. That would be your final 4 right now if it ended right now. So the Fan 29 car falls back to 9th after having a mediocre day, unfortunately. Apollo, starting far in the back, was able to get to a 13th finishing result, I believe, which is very strong after starting that far back. So props to him, keeping that fan car in the top 10. As there's some other guys, as Bubba and Blaney slowly moving through the field as they're having a rebound. As Joey Logano, even after winning the race, is still 26th in points. Chris Buescher, who is first, has exactly double his points. It's going to take a lot for Joey Logano to get up there. He has to probably finish top 5 in both Long Beach and Martinsville here to be able to make it into the Final 4 for Miami. And Chase Briscoe has just had an atrocious season, as he is currently 36, still behind BJ McLeod. But don't forget to leave a comment to be able to race a 29 car at Long Beach. Welcome back, race fans, to the Yahoo Cup Series. This is race 8 of Season 2, and these 38 cars are here in the sunny state of California. NASCAR is ready to turn the streets of Long Beach into their playground for a tight and twisty course, but with a lot of passing opportunities and a lot of 90-degree turns. And with all that said, let's check out our ones to watch. Shane Van Gisbergen is the 38th car here today. He is joining us all the way from the Australian V8 Supercar Series, and he is starting up front today. He may surprise a lot of people. And his teammate, Daniel Suarez over in Trackhouse, is looking for the same turnaround that Joey Logano had last weekend at Darlington, as Gisbergen is competition. And Michael McDowell had a very strong start to the season. He has fallen off slightly in the recent races. Is Gisbergen also going to be his competition? And Bryce Sports was able to claim the 29 car for this race. And don't forget for the rest of you to leave a comment to possibly race in the next race. Now let's get to pit road and get the command to start engines.
In the proud spirit of America, And in the proud spirit of our great country, finally, The Rock says, drivers, start your engine!
As these 38 cars roll off the pit road, let's get our starting lineup. Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick will be in row 1, with row 2 having Shane Van Gisbergen and Christopher Bell. Row 3 is Daniel Suarez and Michael McDowell, and row 4 is Kyle Larson and Bryce Sports. Rounding out the top 10 is Joey Logano and AJ Allmendinger, and behind them in row 6 is Toyota teammates, Joe Gibbs teammates Martin Truex and Ty Gibbs. Row 7 has Alex Bowman and Bubba Wallace, with row 8 having Chris Buescher and Chase Briscoe. Row 9 is Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, and row 10, rounding out the top 20, is Corey LaJoie and Brad Keselowski. Row 11 is Eric Jones and William Byron, and in row 12, it's Carson Hocevar and Eric Almirola. Row 13 has Todd Gilliland and Chase Elliott, with row 14 having BJ McLeod and Ryan Preece. Row 15 is Austin Dillon and JJ Yaley, and behind them, row 16 is Austin Cindric and Harrison Burton. Row 17 has Ty Dillon and Ross Chastain, and row 18 is Kevin Harvick and Ricky Stenhouse. And rounding out the field in row 19 is Jimmy Johnson and Justin Haley. Now let's check out the point standings really quick as we are winding down. It's this, Martinsville, and then we have our final 4 set going into Miami. Your top 4 is currently Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, William Byron, and Christopher Bell. But right behind them in striking distance is Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Kevin Harvick. However, Kevin Harvick and also behind him, Ross Chastain, start very far back in the field today. But some of these other guys start up front and mid-pack, so we'll see how they do at the checkered flag. Now here's a race overview. We are at the Long Beach Street Race. It's about a 2-mile long course, just under that. It's an 8-lap race. Points will be awarded at lap 4. And don't forget to leave a comment so you can have a chance to race at next race at Martinsville. Now here's your field ready to take the green flag here at Long Beach. And green flag is in the air. Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick will lead them into turn 1, with Gisbergen and Christopher behind them. Gisbergen's going to take him 3 wide, ready for the lead. He's going to take it. But Hamlin stays on his inside, but Gisbergen has the advantage. Suarez already up to 3rd. Michael McDowell entering the top 5 as Christopher Bell begins to fall back quickly. Hamlin takes the lead over Gisbergen going into turn, but Gisbergen has the inside again. Tyler Reddick is going to pass Suarez back for 3rd. Michael McDowell underneath Suarez for 4th here, as Denny Hamlin's going to clear Gisbergen. Paul Siddle will remain in the lead. Tyler Reddick trying to take back 2nd going into the hairpin, as Michael McDowell is clear for 4th. Christopher Bell trying to get back 5th from Suarez, but Larson's going to take up 3 wide there. Todd Gilliland already having an issue. He's slow in the back, as Denny Hamlin's still in the lead. Tyler Reddick clear for 2nd. McDowell going for 3rd over Gisbergen. Larson's 3 wide for 5th. Suarez is clear for 5th, but he was 3 wide. Larson up to 6th. Christopher Bell continues to fall back. It's Hamlin Reddick 1-2. McDowell clear Gisbergen for 3rd. Suarez trying to get 4th from his Trackhouse teammate. Kyle Larson lurking in 6th though. Allmendinger moving up through the field up to 7th. This is still single file 1, 2, 3. Larson makes a big 3 wide move under those Trackhouse cars. There's a little bit of contact. Gisbergen may have tapped the outside wall, but he's up to 4th. But Larson in the top 5 trying to get 4th away from Gisbergen. Hamlin continues to lead with Reddick slowly closing in. Chase Briscoe gets spun by Alex Bowman. He gets back going though, no caution, as Hamlin and Reddick still bumper to bumper. McDowell's in 3rd, losing a little bit of ground though. Larson underneath Gisbergen for 4th. Allmendinger up to 6th, as looks like Hamlin's going to go wide a little bit. Tyler Reddick looking to make a move. Gisbergen getting challenged for 5th by Allmendinger. Reddick trying to go to the outside of his car owner, Denny Hamlin, as Allmendinger up to 5th now. As Reddick has the inside, gets the advantage. Now McDowell's caught them as they're side by side. Allmendinger is clear for 5th as well, as Kyle Larson's there. As Reddick gets it but goes wide. As a lot of contact between Gibbs and Suarez, it looks like, as it's the last lap of the stage already on lap 4. Tyler Reddick clear for the lead, with Hamlin and McDowell side by side for 2nd. And Larson up to 4th, Allmendinger 5th. They're 4 wide in the back. There's a crash, collecting Daniel Suarez, who needed a big turnaround. Joey Logano seems to have just narrowly avoided it, but Martin Truex, who's had a very horrible season so far, as here's a replay. Looks like, I think it was Joey Logano, hit the brakes and got into Truex's corner panel, and just an unfortunate circumstance here. And then hooks Suarez, with Suarez hits Buescher, big hit for Buescher there, and also collecting the fan car of the 29 car Bryce Sports here, as 4 cars out of the race, as Todd Gilliland unfortunately is out, alongside with Truex, Buescher, and Suarez, as the 29 car will continue. So we have green flag pit stops here, as the stage is also over, and a very close race coming out of pit road. Looks like Kyle Larson was able to pass Reddick off pit road, as Larson gained a lot of spots there. McDowell remains 3rd. Allmendinger and Hamlin swap spots. Blaney moving up. Gisbergen loses spots. Bell continues to fall back even on pit road. As the stage results were Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Michael McDowell, Kyle Larson, and AJ Allmendinger, as it was given to the people who were up front at the time of caution. Green flag is back in the air as Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski won the front row for this restart. They lead him into turn one. Kyle goes wide, and already another crash. Ty Dillon looks like he drove it in deep, gets into Chastain, who needed a good run because he was outside looking in for the top 4 here. Let's get a replay. Yeah, looks like I think Kyle Larson was pushing Ty Dillon there because Ty Dillon blocked him and then just locked up the brakes with old tires. Sends Chastain into the corner. Stenhouse just nowhere to go as McDowell and Hamlin were both able to slow down and avoid contact. There's one more look here as it looks like, yeah, just unfortunate for Chastain as he needed a good run. Stenhouse was hoping to have a decent run for one of the last few races, but looks like it's still same people in front, but this time Brad Keselowski will restart first with Kyle Busch still on the outside, so same positions, just different person controlling the restarts. Green flags back in the air. Chase Briscoe up to third as Eric Jones fourth. He looks to make a move, but Cindric goes through wide middle there, up into the top 5 after starting way in the back, having a good turnaround for him as Larson is leading the pack, trying to get back through the field. As Brad Keselowski is clear for the lead, Briscoe side by side with Busch for second. He looks like he's going to clear. As Cindric now side by side with Kyle Busch for third. Eric Jones runs at the top 5, but here's Michael McDowell leading the charge actually as he got by Kyle Larson with all the people with fresh tires. As Almirola moves Larson out of the way a little bit. It's going to be bad for Larson, but he gets down and underneath Eric Jones for 6 as McDowell's back in the top 5 already. Gets underneath Kyle Busch. He's going to have the advantage through the turn and is going to be ahead of him as Brad Keselowski still in the lead. As there's a lot of contact in the back. Looks like Austin Dillon, Daniel Hemrick got the worst of it. But Brad Keselowski still in the lead. Briscoe's second. Cindric third. McDowell fourth. And Kyle Larson has now re-entered the top 5, getting by Kyle Busch here. As McDowell's closing in on Cindric. As Eric Almirola got spun out there in that series of turns. But Briscoe slowly closing in on Keselowski. McDowell outside of Cindric for third. He's going to get it. As Keselowski gets really loose. Briscoe to his inside. Briscoe did not touch him. Brad Keselowski just went wide through the turn as McDowell up to third. Larson side by side for fourth. Hamlin there trying to get back in the top 5. The pole sitter. As Briscoe goes wide. Opens the door for McDowell. As here we are coming to the white flag here at Long Beach. White flag's in the air one more time around. As Denny Hamlin back at the top 5. As there's more contact. Christopher Bell's day just keeps getting worse. Ty Dillon also involved. As Briscoe drives in deep on old tires, trying to get in front of McDowell, but then he goes wide. Michael McDowell into the lead. Kyle Larson trying to get by him for second. He's going to do it. Hamlin up to fourth. Cindric back in the top 5 as Brad is falling back now. As Blaney trying to make a move. As it looks like he gets into his teammate Cindric there. Sends him wide into the turn. But Larson and McDowell having a fierce battle here. Hamlin up to third. Brad Keselowski still fifth because of Cindric's issues. Blaney up to 6th. As they're side by side going through the hairpin, Larson goes wide. Here comes Hamlin. Contact to the back. But it's a drag race coming to the line. It's a photo finish at the line. What a crazy finish as Ty Gibbs ends up with the top 5. 4 wide across the line there. As crazy turn of events. Bell comes across the line after spinning. Bryce Sports gains quite a few positions after having a pretty damaged car there. As Chaos, like I said, come to the line and out of the hairpin. Who won between Hamlin and Larson? It was so close. As, here's the contact they had. Looks like a ton of people just locking bumpers going to the turn. Brad just unfortunately nowhere to go. Looks like he still gets a top 10 though. Here's the picture cover line. Denny Hamlin just barely beats Kyle Larson there. As Larson seemed to have driven in deep through the hairpin, goes wide. McDowell ends up third. And Denny Hamlin just barely had enough momentum to get by. As here he does his burnout. Very nice burnout. And congratulations to Denny Hamlin winning the Long Beach Street Race from the pole, by the way, as Denny Hamlin started first and finished first, but had to come through the field after pitting. As here's your finisher results: top 10 being Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Michael McDowell, Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, and Shane Van Gisbergen. And his debut for the Yahoo Cup Series ended up with the top 10. Chase Elliott, after starting in the rear, ends up with 11th, Allmendinger 12th. As Bryce Sports, the fan car, after getting wrecked, will end up with a 21st. Decent finish for unfortunate circumstances here, as struggles for Truex. Suarez needed a good turnaround. Buescher, a points leader, has a bad race. And Ross Chastain, who needed to have a good race to get into the top 4, unfortunately falls back. As here's your point standings. Everyone highlighted in the purple has a chance to still reach the top 4 after Martinsville. But your current top 4 is Kyle Busch. Denny Hamlin jumps up to second after that win. Chris Buescher falls to third. Chase Elliott is 4th. But William Byron, Christopher Bell, and Tyler Reddick are all very close entering the top 4, with McDowell, the Fan 29 car, Kevin Harvick, Ross Chastain, and Kyle Larson still having a chance. Unfortunately, for Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, Brad Keselowski fans, they just barely missed out on still having a chance to make it. Ryan Blaney, if he got max points at Martinsville, would not be able to get to at least 215 points to pass Elliott, as Joey Logano ends up with a decent finish here. He's up to 21st now, looking strong to get a top 20 points finish after having just an atrocious more than first half of the season. As Martin Truex looks like he is not getting that turnaround. He is 29th, and Daniel Suarez, same for him, has reached triple digit in points, but he is outside the top 30 in points here, as Ty Dillon's still having the tail end of the field. Todd Gilliland also having not a very good season. But stay tuned for Martinsville. Welcome back, race fans, to the Yahoo Cup Series. This is the penultimate race of Season 2. We have 12 guys that can still make the Final Four for the championship race at Homestead, Miami. It's going to be an intense one here, as we are in Martinsville Speedway, also known as the Paperclip. There'll be a lot of bumping and running here today. Now with that, let's check out our ones to watch today. Denny Hamlin is currently tied for second in the point standings. He starts up front, and he is very strong at this track, as he has many wins in the past. Christopher Bell is currently 6th in the standings, so he's outside looking in, but he has a pretty good chance to make the Final Four if he stays up front here today. Kyle Busch is currently on top of the point standings. However, he starts very far in the back today, outside the top 30. Let's see if he can get up there. And totally a nobody was able to claim the 29 car this week, and the 29 car has a chance to make the Final Four. And don't forget to comment so you can race in Miami. Now let's get to pit road to get to command.
Welcome to the Xfinity 500. Drivers, start your engines!
Much quicker command as you see the drivers rolling off of pit road. Let's check out our starting lineup with Martin Truex and Ty Gibbs in row 1. Row 2 has Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin. Row 3 is Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace. And row 4 is Christopher Bell and Kevin Harvick. Row 5 is Ryan Preece, Brad Keselowski. Row 6, Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola. Row 7, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott. Row 8, Joey Logano, William Byron. Row 9, Todd Gilliland and Chris Buescher. And row 10 is Tyler Reddick and Ricky Stenhouse. Row 11 has Totally a Nobody and Austin Cindric. Row 12 is Alex Bowman, Michael McDowell. Row 13 is Justin Haley, AJ Allmendinger, colleague teammates. Row 14 is Austin Dillon and Daniel Suarez. Row 15 has Harrison Burton and Eric Jones. Row 16 has Corey LaJoie and your points leader, Kyle Busch. Row 17 is Carson Hocevar, Jimmy Johnson. Row 18 is Ty Dillon, JJ Yeley. And rounding out the field in row 19 is BJ McLeod. Now let's check out our point standings before starting this race. Kyle Busch, like I said, is at the top. Hamlin and Buescher are tied for second. Chase Elliott is currently 4th, rounding out your top 4 here. William Byron and Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick are all very close to getting in. Now here at the Martinsville Speedway, this track is only a half a mile in length. It is a 12-lap event, so same amount of laps as Bristol. Points will be awarded on lap 6. And don't forget to leave a comment so you can have a chance to race at Miami. Now here's your field, ready to take the green flag here in Martinsville. And green flag is in the air. Martin Truex and Ty Gibbs will lead everyone into turn 1 for the penultimate race of Season 2. Truex looks like he'll be able to clear Gibbs coming out of turn 2, and yes he will. Chase Briscoe gets to Gibbs' inside. Hamlin stuck on that outside. Larson looking to his inside for 4th. As Truex leads him down the backstretch going into turn 3. Chase Briscoe is going to get even with Ty Gibbs going to the corner. Larson even with Hamlin. Bell under Bubba for 6 as Hamlin moves Gibbs out the way. He's trying to get to that inside. Maybe he can after this corner, and he does as Bell can't get there. Larson up to 3rd from that. Gibbs falling to 4th. Now 5th as Hamlin gets to 4th. Christopher Bell to the inside of his Toyota teammate for 5th as well. As Kevin Harvick coming up, Bubba Wallace continues to fall back, but Truex maintains the lead here. Briscoe, Larson, and Hamlin all chasing him single file as Larson moves Briscoe out the way just a little bit as Bell will clear Gibbs for 5th as Larson and Briscoe side by side for 2nd. Larson needs this as he currently is 12th in the points. If he has an absolutely stellar day, he could maybe sneak into the Final Four as Hamlin up to 3rd past Briscoe. Christopher Bell still rounding out your top 5 as Truex continues to lead, I think slowly opening up the gap as well, but Larson I actually think is closing in to correct myself. Bell moving into 4th, Harvick trying to get underneath his Haas teammate for 5th, as Hamlin also closing in on Larson. Harvick's going to take him 3 wide to get underneath Bell and Briscoe as well. As, we have a caution as Eric Jones and Austin Cindric crash in the back here as they go hard into the outside wall. As we saw it back half, let's get a replay. So, it looks like Kyle Busch gave Eric Jones some help going into the corner. I don't know if there was prior altercations before that, if they were racing hard, and Eric Jones tried to block. Kyle Busch wasn't having it, and Busch just sent him into the corner, and Cindric had nowhere to go. Unfortunate for Jones, as he has not done very well since he won the Coke 600, and Cindric has just had an abysmal season so far. But Kyle Busch, your points leader, it gets off scot-free. As, oh yeah, Eric Jones is very unhappy with Kyle Busch as he door slams him down the back, but he is sent to the garage along with Austin Cindric. As some people decide to come to pit road, as Tyler Reddick, a guy going for the championship right now, also pits. As Chris Buescher does as well, Kyle Busch trying to get some repairs. As Kyle Busch will restart farther in the back than he started the race in. As we see Brad moves up, Reddick maintains the spot he ended pit road from. Buescher gains spots, Johnson gains spots, Busch stays though. But here's your leaders picking lanes. There's a lot of people trying to stay on the inside, but Denny Hamlin shoots the outside. Green flag is back in the air. Truex and Hamlin, Joe Gibbs' teammates will lead him into turn 1. As Joey Logano's moves up to the field fast, he takes him 3 wide back there underneath Harvick and Chastain, a couple of championship contenders. As Truex and Hamlin stay side by side, Hamlin stays on his corner panel, but I don't think he's going to make it stick. As Bell stays in 4th, staying ahead of Briscoe's. He got a good caution, but he gets moved out of the way by Blaney. Gets moved out of the way by another Ford. Blaney up to 4th. Interesting that a non-championship contender would move a championship contender out of the way. We'll see what Bell does about that. But yeah, Hamlin now jogs back after being stuck on the outside as Larson clears for 2nd. Blaney gets to his inside for 3rd. Logano now enters the top 5 as he started much farther back. He's gained a lot of spots really fast. As he's coming around the final corner to see who gets some stage points here, as it is the last lap for the halfway point. As Truex will win the stage, Larson 2nd, Blaney 3rd, Hamlin and Logano will be 4th and 5th. As Byron also is getting up there. Here's the people who came to pit road coming through the field pretty quickly, as they have much fresher tires. As Hamlin now is falling back to 5th, and Byron's now gotten to his inside for 5th. Hamlin picked the outside to try and see if he could get the lead, but it was just a not very good decision as he is now outside the top 5. Truex continues to lead though. He has been dominating this race. Unfortunately, he does not have any chance to make it to the Final 4, but he is currently looking like a championship contender. As we see Blaney pass Larson for 3rd, Logano gets to his inside as well for 3rd, as Byron is currently 5th, Harvick to Hamlin's inside for 6th, as Logano clears Larson for 3rd. Now Larson has pressure from his teammate Byron, both championship contenders here. Hamlin can maybe get to the inside here as he might have enough room. As, oh, he gets moved out of the way. He got to the inside, but the 29 car, totally a nobody, moved him out the way. But now he's also getting pressure from Chase Elliott, as now Harvick enters the top 5, passing Kyle Larson. Blaney and Logano seem to be slowly closing the gap on Truex there, as we have 3 to go. As, oh, Christopher Bell goes around, championship contender Christopher Bell. Just looks like they washed up the track and just didn't have enough room. He bounces off Chase Elliott and spins out and destroys the inside wall. So yeah, I see here, they just squeezed up, totally nobody hits the wall. Chase Elliott in the middle, and Bell just in an awkward spot, bounces off the wall, bounces off Chase Elliott, and then bounces off the inside wall. Unfortunate for a championship contender, and he just kept falling back and got himself in a hole. If he was able to start making those moves and gain some spots, he could have gone back up there, but we don't know. But if you saw in that replay, Almirola and Keselowski were up there gaining spots as there was people coming to pit road. But let's look at the point standings one more time for people where they're running. Kyle Busch still trying to get through the field, but Denny Hamlin was falling back there towards the end because he was on the outside. Buescher also needs to gain some spots. So 2 of your championship contenders not looking so good right now. But here's the race off pit road. Alex Bowman loses some positions, and so does Bubba. And the first 3 cars all choose the inside, as now Byron is 2nd on the outside. As it's a green-white checkered here, we have 2 laps remaining. Logano makes a bold 3-wide move there, underneath Blaney and Harvick. As, oh, people getting bumped all over the place here. As Byron holding tough on the outside. He crosses over Truex, actually, going down the backstretch. This is not good for Truex. This is the first time he'll be on the outside or lose the lead all race. As Byron takes the lead, as Logano gets to the inside. He has a really good exit. As here comes Brad Keselowski, but white flag is in the air. There are 3 wide for the lead between Byron, Logano, and Truex. Truex falls back to 4th. Logano is the inside, coming out of 2. He's going to clear Byron off the corner. Here comes Blaney for 2nd. Keselowski's entered the top 5 with those fresh tires, but I don't think he has enough time. Elliott and Larson, championship contenders, side by side for 6th. As Blaney moves his way to 2nd, but coming out of the corner, Logano sees the checkered flag, and Joey Logano will win for the 2nd time this season at Martinsville. As we see the rest of the field come across the line, Kyle Busch actually gained a lot of positions. Hamlin kept falling back, but Buescher may not have gained enough spots there at the end to get there. As a crazy, crazy finish, as here's Logano doing his burnout, well-deserved win, as he had to come from almost like around outside the top 20. As let's check our finisher results here. Top 10, was Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, totally nobody, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch. 4 of the top 5 finishers all could not run for a championship, which is pretty incredible, as Hamlin and Buescher were 15th and 16th. They were tied in points coming into this race, as Christopher Bell, the only championship contender to finish outside the top 20. Just unfortunate circumstances that he crashed out there. But here we seem to be tallying up the points to see who your final 4 will be at Miami. And it looks like Kyle Busch, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, and Chase Elliott will be your final 4, as Chris Buescher misses the championship 4 by a single point there at the end, as Hamlin and Buescher finished side by side, but Hamlin got 2 stage points, I believe, to just stay in the top 4. As here's the rest of the field, Blaney up to 11th now. Unfortunately, couldn't contend for a championship. But Joey Logano also up to 16th there. As I think some of the other championship contenders came close. Sucks for the fan card. They had a really good season but could not make the final 4. But don't count them out. They could still win Miami. Tyler Reddick was also very close. Christopher Bell, unfortunately, just got very unlucky this race. Fell back and then kind of wrecked himself there. As there's the back half of the field, Spores and Briscoe have just had an abysmal season. But stay tuned for Miami, as that is the final race of Season 2. Welcome, race fans, to the Season 2 finale of the Yahoo Cup Series. Today, these drivers are here in the infamous Homestead Miami Speedway, where the championship race is held every year at the Yahoo Cup Series and should be held at every year for the Real Life Cup Series. It's going to be a crazy one today, as this is the championship race for Season 2. So with that, let's check out our championship 4. We have Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and William Byron here as your championship 4, ready to rip it around Miami. Some of these guys have to come from deeper in the field as well, so it would be very interesting to watch them have to come from the back to the front to contend with William Byron and Denny Hamlin. And Godwin VR was the first to comment back at Martinsville. He is contending in the 29 car this race, so comment to race one more time at the All-Star race after this race. Now let's get the command.
Driver! Start your engines!
As these drivers roll off of pit road, let's get our starting lineup. In row 1, we have Martin Truex and Bubba Wallace, a couple of Toyotas with Tyler Reddick and Brad Keselowski in row 2. Row 3 is Kyle Larson and Austin Dillon with a good qualifying effort. With row 4, championship contender William Byron and Ross Chastain. Rounding out the top 10 is Ty Gibbs, Ryan Blaney. Then row 6 has Denny Hamlin, another championship contender, alongside Alex Bowman. Row 7 is Christopher Bell, Daniel Suarez. With row 8, have Michael McDowell and your third championship contender, Chase Elliott. Row 9 is Godwin VR with Chris Buescher. And row 10 is your final championship contender, Kyle Busch with Eric Jones. Row 11 has Corey LaJoie, Chase Briscoe, and following them in row 12 is Kevin Harvick and Ricky Stenhouse. Row 13 is Carson Hocevar and AJ Allmendinger. Row 14 is Austin Cindric and Justin Haley. Row 15 is Harrison Burton and Ryan Preece, with row 16 having Eric Almirola and Jimmy Johnson. Row 17 has JJ Yearley and Todd Gillen, with row 18 containing Ty Dillon and BJ McLeod. And rounding out the field in row 19 is Joey Logano crashing in practice. We are at Homestead Miami Speedway. This is a 1.5 mile perfect oval track. It's a 10-lap event. Points will be awarded to people who finish in the top 5 on lap 5. And don't forget to comment so you can race in the All-Star race. Here's your field ready to take the green flag one more time here in the main season. And green flag is in the air. Martin Truex and Bubba Wallace will lead them off into turn 1. Tyler Reddick already trying to peek to the inside, take up 3 wide for the lead here, as Bubba Wallace is going to peek out in front of Truex, coming off the corner. And already Tyler Reddick turns Martin Truex. Big crash on the backstretch where Denny Hamlin's collected. Championship contender Denny Hamlin is involved in the big one on lap 1. Let's check out a replay here. Looks like Reddick washed up on the exit, hooks Truex, and then just chaos and a chain reaction here. As instant replay, yep, Truex just overcorrected back into the middle of in the front of the field. Clips Brad as well a little bit. Brad gets some damage. Austin Dillon nowhere to go. Chastain spinning to avoid, hits Ty Gibbs, and then Ty Gibbs hits his teammate and championship contender, Denny Hamlin. Hopefully that's not a lot of damage for Hamlin. I don't think it is. I think he was either hit right in front of or right behind the tire. Yeah, right in front of his tire, it looks like he was hit. So hopefully it's not a broken toe link. As we also see Ryan Blaney getting a little bit of damage, he can continue on. As we see here, Hamlin and Blaney do escape from the crash, not unscathed, but can continue. People out of the race, Truex, Reddick, Austin, Dillon, Chastain, Ty Gibbs, all 5 of them started in the top 10. As other than Hamlin and Blaney, nobody pits, and here's your field ready to take the green flag again already here on lap 2. It's Byron trying to take him 3 wide. He's now in the top 5 from that. It's not going to work, though. He falls back and now gets stuck 3 wide inside for 4th still, as Bubba Wallace is going to clear Brad off the corner for the lead. Bubba Wallace is leading his first laps of the year. Kyle Larson's going to pass Brad for second, or they stay side by side for second. Byron attempts to send it there, but it doesn't work. Bell stays to his outside with his Hendrick teammate Bowman also on the outside here. As Chase Elliott's also in the top 10. He's going to try, hopefully get past Byron here. He's trying to look to the inside. Byron blocks. Elliott goes back up to the middle. Bubba stays in the lead. Larson still second, but Elliott and Byron now side by side. As no championship 4 contenders are in the top 5, but there is a battle for 6, as Chase Elliott now is ahead of William Byron for the championship lead here. Suarez pushes Elliott down the backstretch. Elliott is clear of Byron. He now splits Bowman and Bell 3 wide. Elliott making extremely risky moves here for being in the final 4. He's down the top 5, but Kyle Larson is now in the lead as we see. He led that lap, passing Bubba Wallace, but Bubba sends it into the corner, trying to maintain even with Kyle Larson, as Chase Elliott now passing Bowman for 4th, as, Christopher Bell almost spins, getting in the dirty air of Byron, as Byron not doing well on that inside, as Suarez will pass him now. Kyle Busch is on his outside. He's side by side with Byron to try and be second for the championship, but Bowman is now falling back on the outside. Byron 3 wide with him and Suarez there, as Larson has cleared for the lead. He is in the lead. Elliott takes him 3 wide for second between him, Brad, and Bubba, but Brad clears for second. Is Elliott side by side with Bubba for third. Looks like he's going to clear him. Byron still trying to make that inside work as he cannot get to the outside. It is kind of working. There goes Buescher around on the last lap of the stage there. Gets hooked by Christopher Bell. I don't really know what happened there, as Bell seemed to have hooked Buescher, and I think Buescher was trying to come down to maybe make a 3 or 4 wide move to gain some spots, as Buescher was moving through the field really fast there. But I guess the spotter did not tell him that Christopher Bell was on his inside and could not make the move, as Bell just hooked him, didn't lift, which is all fair, as Buescher pretty much tried to chop him off there, as Buescher took a pretty big hit into the inside wall. So hopefully he's okay, which he should be, as these cars have gotten much safer since they were debuted. But as we've had a crazy battle for the championship, as Chase Elliott passed Byron and Kyle Busch had caught Byron there, as we have people on pit road, championship contenders William Byron and Kyle Busch pit, as Kyle Busch wins the race off of pit road, passing Byron there, as Byron was ahead at the time of caution, but now Kyle Busch is ahead of William Byron. Bubba Wallace loses positions. McDowell, Harvick gain spots. Bowman and Bell lose spots as they had some damage. Bowman, I think, hit the wall, and Bell and was involved in that last crash here. As stage results, Larson, Keselowski, Elliott, Bubba, and Suarez were your top 5. Elliott finishing 3rd does not really matter here. As green flag is back in the air, past the halfway mark, Hamlin's back up there in the mix. Since he pitted earlier, he decided to stay out. As, it looks like the fan car, Godwin is now up in the top 5 as well, but he got loose coming out of the corner. Elliott will push his teammate down the backstretch, where Larson will clear Brad for the lead. Elliott now side by side with Brad for second, as Godwin in the fan car is battling top 5. But here comes Carson Hocevar making a 3 wide move. He's having a really good day. As Joey Logano starting last stayed out, he's now in the top 10. As championship contenders there, you saw Hamlin and Busch 3 wide with Logano there, as Busch is slightly ahead of Hamlin entering the corner, as Brad and Elliott still side by side for second, but Larson maintains the lead going down the back, as Suarez gives a huge push to Elliott there, as Kyle Busch is ahead of Hamlin trying to go 3 wide with Briscoe and Logano. Keselowski is now behind Suarez. Hocevar still battling top 5 with Godwin in the fan 29 car, as Logano holding tough with Kyle Busch, as Hocevar got a little loose it looks like there, but maintained the speed. Elliott side by side with Larson for the lead. Can Chase Elliott be our first championship 4 contender to lead a lap? As here comes Brad, huge speed on the inside there. He gets even with the leaders down the backstretch. What can he do to get the lead here? As they send it in the corner, Brad and Elliott send it. Elliott trying to get the lead. Elliott gets loose into the wall. He goes. Championship leader Chase Elliott in the wall. Keselowski now clears for the lead. He just got a huge burst of speed. As Kyle Busch is now second. As Byron and Hamlin, they're 4 wide back there with Logano. This is absolute chaos at Miami here, as Godwin and Suarez still side by side. Elliott slowly dropping back now. Larson back up to second. Did that damage heavily affect Elliott's car? They get a huge run. Larson to the inside of Brad. Elliott stays up on the outside as Kyle Busch makes a big move 3 wide. As he sends it into the corner, he's now ahead of Chase Elliott here. It's coming out of the final corner. They're ready to take the white flag here in Miami. All 4 championship contenders right there. William Byron gives Kyle Busch a huge push into the corner. The fan car is falling out the top 5, but they are 4 wide for the championship lead. Hamlin on the outside, Elliott and Kyle Busch middle, Byron on the inside. They're 4 wide down the back here. Who's going to be able to get it going through the final 2 turns? We don't know. As Byron might be able to send it here. He does, but he comes back across the track. Byron spins. Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott make contact. Who's going to save it? Brad Keselowski's going to come across the line and win the race. And it looks like Kyle Busch is going to be your Season 2 champion in the Yahoo Cup Series, as chaos absolutely broke out in those last 2 laps, as Hamlin, Byron, and Busch were trying to rush through the field so they could catch Elliott at the end there, and they did, and Kyle Busch wins. Byron and Hamlin could not cross the start-finish line after they crashed, as here, as you see, William Byron just made a huge send into the corner and could not make it stick. He washed up, nobody lifting. Kyle Busch just hooked him here. Elliott trying to get down, door slams Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch managed to save it. Elliott also crossed the line, but way farther in the back, as Hamlin just had nowhere to go there, as he was holding tough on the outside and doing really good, and was probably going to get the run and maybe even win the championship if none of that happened. But it did, and Kyle Busch is your Season 2 champion, joining Kyle Larson as the only 2 champions of the Yahoo Cup Series. Kyle and Kyle are your 2 champions, as here's your top 10. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez, and Godwin VR. The 29 fan car gets a top 10. Chase Elliott ended up 14th after all that chaos here, and we see William Byron, Denny Hamlin 30th and 31st after not being able to finish the race, and the other people who DNF'd being Chris Buescher, Martin Truex, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon, Ross Chastain, and Ty Gibbs. Absolutely wild finale here, as Kyle Busch out of nowhere started the worst out of the final 4, started all the way back in 19th, I believe it was, but it did not matter, as he is your champion. Elliott is 2nd, Byron 3rd, and Denny Hamlin is 4th. Kyle Larson being 5th, the highest driver finishing in the points. Chris Buescher ends up 6th after leading for a while. The fan car ends up 7th, then Keselowski, Blaney, and Bell, as Tyler Reddick just had an abysmal last few races, ends up finishing outside the top 10 in the points. Michael McDowell had a very strong season for the car. He was in 13th, but Wallace ends up top 16 points. Ross Chastain also fell all the way back to 16th there after having some awful races there at the end. And Martin Truex, talk about down years, being one of only 2 drivers to win 2 races in Season 1, goes winless this season and doesn't even finish top 20 in points. But luckily, the way the All-Star format works, it is the top 10 in points, maybe top 16, still thinking about it, and past winners. So Martin Truex will be in the All-Star race this year. And don't forget to comment so you can drive the 29 car in the All-Star race. Welcome back, race fans, to the Yahoo Cup Series. Today we have the 20 best drivers from the Yahoo Cup Series from both Season 1 and Season 2 here today, ready to go around Daytona. We were here at the beginning of the season, but we're here again for the All-Star race. It's going to be a good show for you guys. And with that said, let's check out our ones to watch. Kyle Larson was your Season 1 champion. He starts on pole for today's race, so we'll keep an eye out for him. Kyle Busch was your Season 2 champion. And will he be able to survive the chaos again to win the All-Star race like he won the championship? And Brad Keselowski, maybe a missing ring from last year because he got multiple wins and was one of the only multi-win drivers. Now let's get the command to start engines.
And now, race fans, here to say the most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome NASCAR Hall of Fame legends, Richard Petty and Darrell Waltrip.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
That's awesome. Legends.
Let's check out our starting lineup for today's race. In row 1, you have NASCAR Dude as Kyle Larson and KV Savage as Martin Truex. Row 2 is the 24 Dude as William Byron and Speed Legend Gaming as Christopher Bell. Bar Downs 8971 is Eric Jones, and Hunter Sport Productions is Kyle Busch in row 3. Row 4 has CB Fan 20 is Tyler Reddick, and Just Ice Racing is Chase Elliott. Row 5 is Gavin NASCAR is Alex Bowman, NASCAR and Dogs is Joey Logano, and then row 6 is Me 181 and is Ross Chastain, and Last Lap Productions 37 is Kevin Harvick. Row 7 is J Money 8 is Ty Gibbs, and Godwin VR is Michael McDowell, with row 8 having Bryce Sports Productions 3 is Brad Keselowski, and Ream Cup Series Racing is Denny Hamlin. Row 9 is Rolando Areola 6337 is Bubba Wallace, and the Butter Dog in the 29 car. NASCAR Fan 1 and is Chris Buescher, and Joey Logano Fan 2024 in row 10 rounding out the field. This is the All-Star race at Daytona. It's an 8-lap race. There is no stage, no points awarded for this race. Super Speedway style race, and this is the last race of Season 2 for the Yahoo Cup Series. Here is your field ready to take the green flag here, and green flag is in the air as Kyle Larson and Martin Truex will lead them off into turn 1, with their teammates Byron and Bell pushing them into turn 1, gapping the field here. Looks like the Toyotas are going to be better pushers as the Chevys on the inside get disconnected. Now the Toyotas get disconnected. Larson already jumps back down to the inside as Kyle Busch pushes Christopher Bell back up to Truex, but Bell will go for the lead. Truex now left out to dry in the middle. The middle is falling apart. Joey Logano already up to second with a line of Fords on the outside. Harvick in the top 5, now in the third. Side by side with Larson. McDowell enters the top 5. It looks like Christopher Bell will lead lap 1. Joey Logano behind him. Oh, we already have a crash coming to the finish line. Looks like Martin Truex got spun into Ryan Blaney. Oh, wow, Truex is not happy with Kyle Busch. Let's check the replay, see what happened. And yeah, it looks like Kyle Busch gave Martin Truex a bad push, spinning Truex back up into Blaney, spinning him out, and Ty Gibbs, nowhere to go. Gets a little bit of front end damage there. But it looks like not too much damage. I believe it's Martin Truex saved it and was able to continue on from the crash. As everyone's able to continue on, no one's out of the race yet. Christopher Bell and Joey Logano are now on the front row with Larson and Harvick pushing them. Green flag is back in the air here, as Joey Logano now gets better help from Harvick than Larson is giving to Bell. As Logano is now in the lead after starting mid-pack. Tyler Reddick, you see there, farther back, jumps to the outside with help from the RFK cars. Logano clear for the lead now. Kevin Harvick still pushing them. They jump up in front of Reddick to get to the outside as they have momentum. Brad Keselowski enters the top 5 as they're starting in the back, but here's Tyler Reddick to the inside looking for the lead as Joey Logano throws a really bad block. They almost crash. Kevin Harvick now is your race leader. Keselowski second, Buescher third. Logano and Reddick fall back the inside lane, falling apart here. Chase Elliott's now back up there as he had some damage in that crash. And the 29 car, Butter Dog, is now in the top 5, leading the middle lane. RFK cars jump to the inside. Harvick now loses all momentum and is going to pretty much stop that outside, as RFK is now 1 and 2 with Keselowski and Buescher here. Butter Dog is third place. He goes to the outside working with Harvick. Chastain jumps low. Buescher out to dry. Brad abandons his car, but he will continue to lead on the outside, but that inside is moving fast. Here comes Chastain. They're side by side for the lead now. Kyle Busch back up there. Denny Hamlin now finally getting back up to the front here. Chastain's now your race leader. Hamlin to the middle. They're switching lanes all over the places. Oh, there goes Kyle Busch back up in front of the field. Big crash here. That's a much bigger crash than the one earlier. As you can see, Truex and Blaney and Gibbs right there all trying to avoid this crash. Let's see what happened. Looks like they all got clogged up on the inside, and Reddick couldn't stop. Punts Busch, spinning him out, and then Busch overcorrects right into the field, clobbering Harvick, and then Elliott and Bowman just nowhere to go. As, yeah, Reddick got into Elliott there, and then Bowman just couldn't do anything. But good job by everyone else who was able to avoid the wreck. Yep, those 5 cars out of the race, Harvick, Busch, Elliott, Bowman, and Chastain is here. Is your field lined up once again, as Brad Keselowski and Chastain will lead them back to the green flag here. Keselowski gets better help from Hamlin as Butter Dog trying to push Chastain, but it's not going well. Toyotas jump up to the outside now. A bunch of Toyotas. Truex leading him with Bell behind him again. Let's see how they work together this time as Hamlin jumps high now. RFK teammates back together on the inside. Hamlin goes up with all his Toyota teammates. It's JGR all in a row up there. That's pretty impressive as they take the lead. Hamlin is clear Brad for the lead now as RFK cars need to start pushing better now if they want to keep up, but the Toyotas are working really well. As Logano jumps up, Bubba blocks as Bell goes down with Bubba. Bell abandoning his teammates again as here they are, they're 3 wide. JGR 3 by 3. Truex gets left out to dry though as Ty Gibbs decided to go with Hamlin, but Christopher Bell is now cleared for the lead with Bubba Wallace pushing him. Ty Gibbs pushing Hamlin. Larson's now gotten back up there after falling to the back in the beginning. Joey Logano's still on that inside. He's come back after that issue with that bad block is Hamlin. They're 4 wide here at Daytona. White flag is in the air. Bubba and Larson have the lead, side by side for it. As here's Byron, Logano, and Hamlin. Here they are. They're 3 wide. Blaney gives Logano a huge push. Who's going to get the lead? They're side by side. Logano and Larson here. They're 3 wide behind him. Oh, there's a crash. The whole field's in it. Butter Dog's on his side. Bubba Wallace hard into the inside wall. Massive crash here to close out the race as they had to throw the caution. The whole track's blocked, and they have to make sure everyone's okay. As who won? We don't even know. It's between Larson and Logano. They were side by side, but replay of the crash here. Looks like Brad gave Hamlin a bad push, spun out. Hamlin clipped Blaney. Blaney clipped Bubba, and then a ton of people know where to go as Butterdog just got clobbered from behind by Truex and then got pinned and got vaulted on his side. Luckily, the car didn't flip over. But while Ty Gibbs and Michael McDowell is here, it looks like Kyle Larson is your winner by quite a bit. Just had to make sure he was the winner. But congratulations to Larson. Started on the pole. If you forgot, Kyle Larson started first and finished first with Joey Logano, William Byron, Ross Chastain, Ty Gibbs, Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, your top 10. As NASCAR do, NASCAR and Dogs, the 24 do, Me 181, J Money 8, Godwin VR, Speed Legend Gaming, Rolando Ariella 6337, and my apologies. I don't remember the names, but we'll see when they come back around. As here's the rest of the field. Butterdog finished 11th, Truex, Sixowski, Busher. Rest of the top 10 being Joey Logano Fan 2024 and Ream Cup Series Racing. But I believe it was only like the top 7 who finished the race. But with that, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.